What up, people? It's 9 o'clock, and you know what time it is. Time for Playing in Traffic to Play in Traffic, where we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you have any questions for us or any ideas or anything about vehicles, cars, boats, anything like that, please put them in the chat, and we can read them on the chat over here, and maybe we can answer them, and maybe we can't. What up, buddy?
I guess it's safe to say we could talk about wind turbines tonight too, for all the weather that's going on around the country.
Oh yeah, tonight's a good green night.
Yeah, right.
So John, you're down in Florida, so you didn't really catch it. It's over to the west of you, right?
It's like diagonal,
but
it's moving east. So it's been windy, crazy windy all day. And the heavy rain right now is north of me, up like around Gainesville. But when you go look at the radar, it's going to be coming over about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll get hit with some really heavy stuff. And then the wind will calm down tomorrow, they're saying. But today was pretty crazy windy. I had to come over the Skyway Bridge. Man, oh man. They were telling everybody drive in the left lane.
Oh, yeah?
And I was driving with the wheel turned. And you could feel that bridge move. That's a big bridge.
Yeah. Try with 18 feet of sail on the back of your truck.
Yeah, right? Unreal.
My dad drove semi for years, 40-foot trailers and stuff. And yeah, you get wind catch the side of one of them things.
Yeah.
I've seen those things blow over.
Yeah, don't make a left to throw the geometry off. And they even tell you in the owner's manual not to do that.
Don't make a left turn?
Yeah, when you take a left, you throw the geometry off and the weight of the truck, and it'll actually tumble over.
Yeah. But it won't do that if you make a right turn?
Hey, look, John, I just read the manuals, man. I mean, hey, I know it's superstitious that men do not read instructions or manuals.
I know,
but there are a few of us, and I don't ask questions. I just try to follow the rules.
Yep, there you go.
I would think that it would be, just as bad going the other way too.
Something about how you throw the balance of the weight or something. I don't know, but I just
must have
all I know is I've been on
something to do with the counter rotation of the crankshaft.
I don't know, but I've been on 2 wheels on that tool truck, and that's a scary feeling. You want to talk about puckering up a little bit?
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, I've been on 2 wheels on semi. It ain't fun. Here's another thing: when you jackknife, you see the back of your trailer coming around. That's scary.
I bet.
Yep. I was like, man, that looks like my trailer.
that's like when that wheel goes by you and said, man, that looks like my wheel.
I got a set just like those.
Yeah, I got a set just like that. That's true. Yeah, it's clipping through here about I think they were saying about 40, 50 miles an hour. So it's clipping pretty quick. So hopefully
oh boy.
We got about 10 more minutes before it really hits us.
Wow. So screens may go blank, we may lose internet, power. You never know what, right?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I got the generator fired up.
So the reason I put used cars and stuff tonight, a guy asked me at work, he has a lease. And he said, what's the best way to find out what it's worth and, stuff like that. And I'm like, man, everything's upside down. I was like, you're going to have a hard time finding any right numbers because everything's up 20 to 40%.
Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. You're up 40% on a used vehicle. They're selling them for the same price as new cars.
I just sold the car, and I did get more than it was, more than the sites appraised it for. But again, I went with found a local guy who was a retired cop. I mean, not to profile the guy. White, American, English speaking, knows cars, not a moron, and we were able to communicate easily, and he understood the value of the product, and there was no BS. Everything was, to the fact where he's looking at the rust on the car and not even mentioning it because he knows, That's what
Yeah.
happens to cars,
Yeah.
It was probably the best exchange I've ever had in my life with selling a vehicle.
That's
That's
good.
nice.
Yeah.
You know, I really cringe when I got to sell something and people, I'll put much as I can in the description and people will ask me the same questions that are in the description. It drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
I met with this guy and his girlfriend last week. We made the deal, and she did all the question asking and all the bargaining and haggling. She knew her stuff.
Yeah.
And she was asking the hard questions, the questions that, like, maybe a guy would ask. So she knows the stuff. And I told her straight out, honestly, I said, I'm going to tell you honestly. I'm going to answer every question very honestly. I said, I've gotten in trouble like that before because you tell people something honestly, and then they ask you again, like they don't believe you. I said, this is total disclosure. I said, I don't want you coming back later or, calling me. I'll tell you up front, and then you make up your mind. And a lot of people don't know how to handle that. Luckily, they did. So, and that goes with the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So what do you guys think about leasing? Is that it's still you're still upside down with a lease, huh?
No, not really.
I've never leased a car in my life, so I don't know.
My wife's been leasing Benzes for, God, 16 years, 17 years.
Yeah.
She rolls into Benz, picks out something, does a lease, and then 3-4 years later, depending on the lease, she hands it back to them, and they stick her in something else.
All the people I know who've leased, especially premium brands, repetitively, have always gotten the gold treatment because now they have a history, and they know you, and they know that you want the product, and it's you get the good deal.
The only problem that you have with that is, or the lease thing, everybody goes in and they'll lease a car. We had this with the guys with the Porsches and the BMWs and all that stuff. They come in and they'll ask for the lowest lease or the lowest price so that they can afford the car. They get the car and then they drive the piss out of it and they go over the mileage if it has a mileage mark on it. Yeah. And then they're screwed because they come back and they say, hey, is there any way you can turn this mileage back? Because I was only supposed to drive 10,000 a year and I did 45,000 a year. You know what I'm saying?
And they whack you when you go over.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you get pounded. And of course, they don't want to. Very few people want to do any of the maintenance on the car. So the cars are usually just beat to piss.
Right.
And
see, that's why my wife's the perfect lease. The perfect, what they call them, lessee. Yeah. She's got, her credit is like 808 or 810 or something like that. She doesn't drive the car.
Yeah.
Work is like 4 or 5 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So every time she gets a lease, I know it's a ripoff, but we got ripped the first time she leased a Mercedes. We didn't go for their service package, and Mercedes gives you like A, B, C service. So the first one is your A service, which is like an oil change and tire rotation and, I don't know, in-cabin air filter and some other stuff like that. So that came up, and I rolled into the Benz dealership with the car, gave it to him. 2 hours later, the guy hands me a bill for like almost $600.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So when that lease was done, I told her, I said, however much it's going to add to the monthly payment, just make sure you get the service package. So she's been doing that for the last 3 or 4 Benzes that she's had. And it's never been a problem. And she gets phone calls from the dealer. They're like, your car is telling us that it should be due now for A service. And she's like, it's only got 6,000 miles on it. And they're like, what? So, because she doesn't drive it, the car stays perfect.
Yeah.
And when it's time to get out of it, they're clawing that back as fast as possible.
Oh yeah.
To the point where they want to get her out of the lease like a year early because they can sell that car for a boatload of money. And she's never had to pay anything to walk away. And she's always been so far ahead of the game because with the last one, she had the last one for 4 years because you couldn't get one. There was a problem getting Benzes coming overseas. They didn't have anything. So they made her keep it. And they couldn't get that car out of her hands fast enough because they just gave it a cleanup, a polish, and interior cleaning, and they didn't even change the tires. There was no wear on this thing.
Just too bad she couldn't. Just too bad she can't keep that car in a nice garage.
Yeah, right. She put like 11,000 miles on the car.
Yeah.
In almost 4 years.
I've registered my cars on different sites, car councils. I forget what they are, my Mazda site, and I get the same emails from them, like, "Oh, your car is due for this," or "Do." I'm like, "No, it's not. No, it's not." Again, because they don't get the mileage.
Yeah.
And but yeah, mine's not talking to them. It's called like time and age.
Yep. They love her. They trip over themselves to get her in something else.
Right.
And she doesn't like the one she's got now. This 2021 or 2022. They didn't have any that she wanted. She went. They looked all around the country. They were willing to ship something. If it was in California, they were sending it. And they didn't have one that had the options that she wanted. And the only one they found that was really, really, really close to what she wanted was in South Africa.
Jeez.
Really?
So she had to wait like 3 months before this car came to the shore.
So let me ask you this, John. I thought those cars were all pretty well optioned out. What are the differences? Like, what the hell does she want that's not in all of them?
She likes the glass roof. That's an option. Sunroof is kind of standard. Glass roof where the whole roof is glass.
Yeah.
That's an option, and she likes that. She's like, if I'm going to be paying these guys, I want what I want. She wanted specific. Like they had like 8 different types of wheels. I want those wheels.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Just get us some Craigers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, on a Benz.
Yeah, there's a new set of wheels on Hondas that are pretty hot. My Honda dealership had 5 Hondas floating today.
Oh,
the wheels were missing. So
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and
speaking of that,
I hate that.
I think it's the Subarus, the Foresters have some of these wheels I absolutely hate. It's like they're going back to like the 80s, like it's like a Boyd Coddington design, but on crack or something, because it doesn't make it. I mean, these weird angles and shapes, and like I want to take the wheel designer and smack him in the head.
Because everything's made on 5-axis milling machines now.
Yeah, but they got to. Somebody has to design it, and that's where it's.
Yeah, the designers are terrible. Even on the aftermarket wheels, they're just getting ugly.
Yeah,
I think the designers are all young now. That's the problem.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think.
They come from that fart. They come from that fart can group. That thinks that's cool.
Yeah, one of my buddies is doing a aftermarket place, and we were looking at wheels, and they're just all ugly. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of them too.
Yeah. And people are buying them. That's what really sucks.
Right.
You see them rolling.
Did you ever walk through? I'm trying to think of what building it is at SEMA. Usually, I think it's everything. Like all of the signage is green. That's the one that's like all wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that building?
Yeah.
Where they got like wheels from shopping carts all the way up to like big, giant Arctic, tundra vehicles. There's a gazillion wheel manufacturers in there. And everybody's got these billet aluminum wheels from like 13 inches, from the guys with the low riders.
32s.
Up to like 32s and 34s and craziness. And it's like everybody that's got a CNC machine and somebody that has basic programming now owns a wheel company.
Mm-hmm.
and they're
And
all making money.
so much of the stuff is ugly. Yeah, and they're all making money. People are buying
Yeah.
that stuff.
I talked to
Yeah.
a couple wheel companies trying to do some promotion with celebrities, and they're like, we don't need to promote anything. We sell everything.
That's it. Getting
Yeah.
stuff out on the web, there's going to be some morons going to buy it from you.
Well, the other thing I've
It's
noticed
just-
is a lot of discount wheels out there. Stuff, they're dropping the prices, and that's the other way. That's the way you get your product out there. You make it cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, but there's got to be a break-even point. I mean, seeing these wheels, those chunks of aluminum aren't cheap. We know that.
No.
No, not at all.
Well, they're getting-
but there's a
they're
lot.
getting
There's a lot of
5,000
stuff
a
that's
set.
cast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are coming out with cast wheels, and it'll be like a basic cast, and
Right.
then they do the rest of the machining, which that cuts the price of the wheel down dramatically.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of funny because one of the cars that had the wheel stolen off of it, they only took 3 because the one had road rash on the one side. So they even left it.
They were
Nice.
picky.
I mean, I was like, I can't believe who steals like 3 wheels. I mean, it's not. I mean, they must have they must be hitting so many. They have, and if they're that picky to build a set of wheels, you're not going to sell somebody 3 wheels.
No.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny. They were like, I was like, why is the car sitting kind of funny? Because it was on. They ran out of jack stands. I told them I'd ordered jack stands for them, and they were hoping. They were like, I hope this doesn't last very long, but they had it sitting on something, milk cartons, their crates, and the car was kind of leaning funny. And I was like, why is it leaning funny? And they were like, oh, they took all except the one. And I was like, oh, I guess they were getting, they got spooked or whatever. He goes, no. We've seen this before. This one had a lot of road rash on it. So they left it. I was like, God.
Around here in suburbia, what they would do, and then when there's a rash of thefts like that, the cars will they'll take your paving stones and put your car on your paving stones just to rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, a neighbor
That's
behind
horrible.
me, his kid's truck had gotten stolen, and they have it on all the street cameras of the truck going down the road, and then about an hour and a half later, it's coming back and it's packed with wheels because the Mercedes dealership down the street had gotten all the wheels jacked on it, and they said the same thing. Anything that they could find just to get the car up just high enough or whatever.
Right.
It was all over, man. But it was crazy. Like you said, they'll use your own stones and rocks and cinder blocks. And
Well, that makes sense. That's why they don't have to carry anything with them.
Yeah.
And you can never catch these guys.
Yeah.
so it was crazy. But you see on the video, the truck leaving, and then it's coming back the other way, and it's just packed with wheels all in the back. It was a Ram pickup truck. That
Wow.
Yeah,
had
they
gotten
did it in the
jacked.
truck.
Yep, they used it. They found the truck, 2 blocks down the street over on the side.
I think it was about 6-8 years ago. There was a rash in my neighborhood, and it was like Hondas or something. It wasn't the Benz or the BMW. It was an average Japanese car. I think they were Hondas, and I don't know. You got to wonder why. Like, what's the attraction? I mean,
I tell you, the
Not a clue.
cordless stuff is so good now that they can
Yeah.
work real fast.
damn tool guys selling those powerful tools.
I know.
The,
We got those wheel lock kits. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
we sell. I mean, we have the factory wheel lock kit sets that we sell, and all I gotta do is, even if you have wheel locks on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't you just smash a socket over it and then
Yeah.
Oh, it's
spin
like
it
the
out?
turbo sockets. Yeah.
Yep. Or you run down to Harbor Freight and you buy. It's like the guy on what was that Animal House when he walked in and asked for 10,000 marbles. You got a guy walk in there and they said, I need 10,000 7/8 chrome sockets. You know what I'm saying? Because they just pound them on it. They don't have to get, if they're cheap enough, they don't even have to get them back off. You just pound them on. And
do you remember the club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That comes from my area in Sharon, PA.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies was the deputy sheriff on the commercial, and somebody broke in his car, stole his car, and he had the clubs on the seat.
Uh,
He's the spokesperson, and they stole his car with the club.
Yep,
Yeah,
there we
you go.
go. Jim pulled one up. Oh, Ray, you're getting slow, man.
I never owned one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I never
either.
owned one.
Yeah, I never.
I knew somebody had a really nice Mustang. Goes to the movies one night, parks his car, goes to the movie, comes out, car's gone, club's in the parking spot where he was.
Yeah, when I was repoing, they made tools that popped them real easy. I had
Yeah.
a tool.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You hook it on, you wrench it, and it breaks
Weren't they
it.
freezing them too for a while?
I don't know about
freezing
that,
the lock
but
and just snapping it.
I had a
Yeah, dude, break the
tool.
steering wheel.
Yeah, you can cut the steering wheel.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, like my buddy Tony said, won't cut the steering wheel.
yeah.
If they want it, they're gonna get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You should just keep an honest people out at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all locks are.
When I was going to the repo conferences down in Florida, there was guys there to teach you how to steal, and man, you should have seen some of the equipment. They got equipment that can change your code on your car where you can't get in it.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, it's big time. The repo industry is very big. You think it's just a guy in a tow truck, but it's very technical.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got a friend that does that on Long Island. He's crazy. Guy walks around, 3 guns, built like a brick shit house. He does not care. If the bank says we need that car, he'll go get that car with you screaming at him, pointing a gun at him. He don't care. It's just like, I'm taking your car. Too bad. You didn't pay the bill.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a maniac. And he's got that tow truck where the wheel lift
Self-loader.
drops out,
Yeah,
hooks
self-loader.
them automatically, yeah. And like he'll grab a car. He's not even in front of the car.
No, you
he
can
may
take
be he may be at almost 90 degrees to the
Yeah.
car, and this thing goes out and turns and goes in, and
You can take a
he'll
car that's
drag
parked.
the car out of the parking
You can
spot.
take a
He
car
don't
that's
care.
parallel parked, and you
Yep.
can drag it. I know because the
Yeah.
guy at the shop, Junior, he bought a truck. It was used in Starrett City. That's where it was stationed, and it's got that. I forget what it's called. He told me the
Dynamic.
name of it, but it's got that device on it. That wheel.
Dynamic.
That quick wheel. And he was showing me. He was using it in the parking lot. I'm like, man, this is really cool. This
The
is-
guy that invented it, I met him at a repo conference. This was probably 2000,
Mhm.
and his last name was Miller, and he was telling us how he invented it. He had a regular tow truck you had to get out with the bars and let the boom down and all that. So he said one day he was repoing a car and a lady came out and stabbed him.
Wow.
So he says either I need to find another job or figure out a way to get this car faster.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he said they cut holes in the bed of the truck and ran cables back to those bars. Remember the old bars that you had to pull?
Yeah.
So he hooked cables to it. He said him and his buddy backed up to a car, hit a switch, and it dropped, hit another switch, and he was telling us how it worked, and they couldn't believe it worked.
Right.
So that's
right.
how that self loader became.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Unreal.
cool.
Well, I only had to repo one car. This is when I was a young kid working at a gas station. We had to go get a car. And old man Jim was driving the tow truck. And old man Jim was like Barney Rubble, just no neck, barrel-shaped guy. And he used to smoke Pall Malls, unfiltered.
Oh,
And he
God.
would pack them so tight that the ashes would stay out there, and he would keep it in his mouth and talk, and the ashes were flipping around, and I would like stand underneath of him like to try to catch these ashes, but they never fell. So the shop owner Steve goes, you need to go with Jim and help him out. We gotta go get this car, and he hasn't paid his bill. I was a kid. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. So we get in the truck, and it was a column shift, old F100, boom truck, And Jim looks over and he goes, "You ever hooked a car up on a tow truck before?" And I said, "No." And he hands me the J hook, this big ass J hook.
You're gonna learn.
And he said, "When we get down there," he says, "you just throw this up underneath the car, pull it real tight, and then put it in one of the boom on the boom.
Just don't hook the oil pan.
And well, he goes,
And you
he goes,
didn't,
and then
you
we'll
know.
get down the road and we'll hook it up, but we gotta be quick. And I was like, why? He goes, well, you don't want to get shot at, do you? And I'm like, what? And we're driving down and we're in DC and we're driving along and he goes, there's the car sitting on the street, and he starts to slow down and I'm waiting and he goes, get out. And he just pushes. I mean, we're still moving. And I'm like stumbling around out in the road and he goes, hook it up. I throw it, pull it right through the radiator, man. That thing came all the way up.
You missed the oil pan. Good.
I hooked it onto the boom, and he just takes off. I mean, my fat ass is standing in the middle of the street running as fast as I can. Jam! And he's just booking it right on down the road. So we get about 3, 4, 5 blocks down. I'm out of breath. I'm half dead, chasing after him. I come up, and I'm like, why didn't you stop? He goes, I'm going home tonight. I'm not getting shot at. And I'm like, holy crap. That was my one and only repo adventure there. Tell you.
So how big were you as a teenager? What size were you back then?
Oh, I was a big boy. Still am a big. I mean, I was, 6'3", 250, and
okay.
I scared a lot of people, but thank God.
Make a good repo driver, sure.
Yeah, but it was funny. We that was a hell of a day.
Do you remember I don't know, a bunch of years ago there was a show on TV, a repo show.
Yeah,
and it was really pretty good. It was like a small company, maybe 2 or 3 guys, and
I knew all those guys from the shows.
That was
a great show.
Lizard
really
Lick.
it.
Lizard Lick was one of them, right?
No, not that. No, it wasn't Lizard Lick. It was. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna think they were like up in this area, the northeast to the middle, over towards Ohio somewhere, because it was cold. They were doing stuff in the the winter.
Yeah.
But they weren't out west. I don't think. I think it was up around here. And
they were all members of Philard. That was the repo conference down in Florida.
Oh yeah.
All those guys. We
they had that one black lady, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, she was funny.
Yeah,
she didn't mess around, man.
No.
See, a lot of those shows, man. Those people, they did it for the show, because I did it for 20 years, and I had 2 guns pulled on me and a knife.
Yeah.
It's all in how you treat people. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They know you're coming.
Yeah.
But those TV shows, man, they get in some mess.
Right.
Yeah, they cranked it up. Well, they had drama. Like I said, they cranked it up.
Have you seen the TV show where they repo airplanes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that one too. They fly them in, land, and wait, get those planes. Yeah.
I've repoed all that stuff too. If I had to do a plane or something, I'd have to call somebody that could fly. I've repoed computers out of doctors' offices. Anything you take a loan out. I went to Sprint one time. Sprint, listen to this. Sprint owned the bank, and they sent me to Sprint to pick up the phones in the offices because they didn't pay the bill.
Wow.
Their own stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's nutty.
Yep.
I had one night, we used to have this tree at the end of my driveway down here, and one night the dog was going crazy. I looked out, and it was a tow truck sitting at the end of my driveway, and I sat there for a while, and finally I walked down there, scared the crap. I guess I'm glad I didn't get shot, but scared the crap out of the guy. I came up beside him and banged on the side of the truck, and I told him, I said, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm waiting for your neighbor. And I said, well, you're going to have to wait someplace else, buddy, because they were hiding the car in the backyard. They'd come around and put it in the backyard.
That was the hardest part.
Huh?
The hardest part is finding the car. People would hide them.
Yeah.
I used to go on stakeouts for days, staking somebody out to find out where this car is at.
I said, this tree ain't big enough for you to hide behind. And I said, personally, I'd go around on the corner down there, and you can look straight up through the backyard and see it. And he goes, is that where they're keeping it? I said, I didn't say anything. I'm just saying that you just go down there and probably get a better view.
You should have invited him in for a ham sandwich and coffee.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to get involved.
Entenmann's Donuts.
Yeah, it may cut you in a little bit. Give you a slice. You never know.
Yeah. So that was funny. He sat out there. He sat across the street. We have a Southern States place. He sat across the street. There he is, the myth,
Terry.
the legend, Terry.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going
Talking
on?
about you.
Yeah, talking about you. Now we got to change the subject.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Man.
You want me to turn my back? I can turn around if you want.
I'll use this time to segue. Speaking of Terry reminds me of TV, and I wanna throw it out there that Sam's Garage is premiering Saturday morning at 9:00 on Motor Trend.
Yep.
New season, and they got some really good stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll be at work. I can't see it live, but I'll have to catch it later on demand. So
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of work, man. He's been posting a lot of stuff.
he sure has.
Yeah,
Some
buddy.
really, that Camaro was sick. So
Yeah.
that's on Saturday.
Guess I know what I'm doing Saturday.
You don't work on Saturday, Justin?
Mornings.
Okay.
We run half the crew alternating Saturdays.
You got yourself a little
Oh,
different
that's cool.
vehicle in the shop now, huh?
What's that?
You got a little different vehicle in the shop to work on now, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm clueless, man. It's all foreign to me. Yeah, it's what a 2014 Scion.
Yeah.
Putting an Edelbrock supercharger on it.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Yeah, this is not our usual.
Now, who makes Scions?
I believe the car itself is a Subaru.
Subaru is Scion.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
the same-
Toyota, isn't it?
Right. I think it's the
thought it
Toyota
was
80.
Yeah.
Toyota.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, it's Toyota, but it has a pancake motor in it, right? It has
Yes.
and that's the Subaru motor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you open the hood and on the fenders and stuff is all stamped Subaru, and
Really?
I think they're all based off like the BRZ.
Whoop-de-doo.
Different. It's not a small block.
No.
None of that stuff enters into my world.
It usually doesn't ours.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, but the imports need love too.
It's a cool little car. I think it's gonna be
Not
pretty
from
fun.
Johnny, they don't get love.
My last shop of the day had this in there.
Oh,
67 Cougar.
Cougar.
Nice.
nice.
The couple just bought it up in
Sequential taillights.
Pennsylvania. $38,000 they
Really?
bought this car. Yeah.
Right. Right.
That sounds like a good price.
It
I was
is.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go try to build one.
Somebody has had a 302 in it, and a regular not a modular or a Coyote motor, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and they also put in a T5. It had a T5 in it.
Justin, that one you guys just cranked out was a masterpiece. That was a beautiful car.
Yeah, that XR7. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool car.
I
Very nice.
like those.
Big block.
They were overlooked back in the day. It was
Right? It's the same platform as the Mustang.
it was the classier Mustang. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
But yeah.
The Capri, right? You're talking about a Capri?
No, the
Oh,
Cougar.
no, T-Bird, the Cougars. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking like Fox body style.
No.
No.
Cool.
I almost bought one.
Yeah.
I know.
Really?
We can
I
still
like the
kick
Cougar.
you.
What a
We can still
5.0,
kick you for not buying it.
I almost bought a 5.0 Cougar because back in the day, everyone had GTs. And I saw this Cougar. I was like, you know what? That looks it's kind of better looking. I like that big hood scoop and everything. I was like,
Yeah. Hidden headlights.
Should have got it.
Yeah.
no, because I was looking at a turbo coupe at the time. I was looking at a turbo coupe, and the insurance
cool
was too
car,
much
too.
for me.
Yeah, it's a cool car.
No.
I did,
this was around
I used to
87,
service one of them
86.
for a guy.
I did.
But then I finally got a 91 Super Coupe. I love that car.
Yeah.
Just
I
had
had,
that just had that intercooler that weighed 900 pounds. That
Yeah.
they had to come
I
up
had
with a lighter option for that.
I had a Merkur XR4 Ti.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Wow.
motor in it.
Yeah,
Has that same motor as the.
Did you
turbo
watch
coupe.
Did you watch the video that Steve Maggs did on that car?
Yes, that's the new.
Go look
yeah,
on his
last
stuff.
week.
He's got a whole video on the XR4 Ti.
Yeah.
Man, I
In a
love that car.
junkyard.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I would never sold it, man.
I was
Oh,
watching that the
How
other
did
day.
you fit in that car, Lewis?
oh, I had room. I'm
There's
telling you,
plenty
man.
room in that
The
car.
back seat.
They had a lot of headroom. It's a
Yeah.
nice car. I thought they were ugly, and then one of my friends let me drive his. I'm like, oh, dude, this thing's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So we repoed one, and my boss had it, and I bought it off him. Yep,
Yeah.
it was an '89. It was a fast car. I used to beat Camaros and
They were.
TAs. I used to
Yeah.
put it to them, boy.
Mhm.
You see, and the funny thing is, after the Super, because I wasn't looking to sell my Super Coupe. My Super Coupe, I tweaked it out. I got the bigger top and all that stuff. That car was fast, and it had like 300,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And it was sitting I was in my apartment. It was sitting in the back apartment. Here, knocking the door. Now I wasn't looking to sell it, but the guy came up and he was just like, "Yo, what's it called? I love your car. Would you want to sell that car?" Because the landlord told him who owned it. And he goes, I said to him, "Give me $3,500. I'm gonna come back in 3 weeks." Yeah. Cool. Close door. He came back with $3,400 plus a battery charger, and I was just like, "Let me clean the Super Coupe out." Because what I did was I bought the upgrade coupe. I got the Lincoln Mark 8.
Yeah.
And I still have
That's
that.
a nice car.
That's a nice car too. I
Lincoln
love
Mark,
the
still
dash
have
in the
it
Mark 8.
Also with a 6-speed in it.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
dashboard in that car.
Yeah.
Yep.
The LSC.
Very nice.
So that was my brief, I don't know,
Yeah.
encounters with Ford.
You'll come back. Don't worry.
I did a.
I
trying to
might.
think
I
of what
might.
year it was. 82 or 83 Thunderbird Super Coupe with a turbo.
Yeah,
Or,
they came out in '83. That egg shape almost looked like an egg.
Yeah,
that was the turbo coupe.
That was the turbo
yeah.
coupe.
It was a turbo coupe
That went from
T-Bird.
83 to 85, 86. And then
This was
87.
an
they kinda
83 or
changed it up a little.
84. I got a phone call from the guy that wrote the article on my Firebird from CarCraft, and said, "Hey, you want to get involved in a project that we're doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I had to go to Starrett City,
Yep.
pick this car up. It was on a long-term test drive. The guy's name was Cliff. Used to write a whole bunch of articles for different car magazines.
Cliff Cromer, I think.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
And I had to meet him in Starrett City to pick that car up.
Yeah, I've spoke with him. I know the guy. Yeah.
He's still around?
I don't know. He's an excellent writer. That was an
Yeah.
excellent writer. Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
got the
wrote for
car.
everybody.
I got the car from him.
Wow.
My
That's
friend
cool.
took me in, and I brought the car back. And then CarCraft had a whole bunch of companies that sent me like dress-up stuff,
Right.
and I did up the whole engine compartment and made it look like a jewelry case. And I got to keep the car for like probably about 2 months. They were like, "Drive it, get it out there, take it to go to Friday night cruise nights, pop the hood, show everybody what's going on."
Take it to Englishtown.
And then they did
I
an
love that
article on the
ground-
car.
They
Yeah, it
made
was
a
cool.
nice ground effects kit for that car. They made a nice with the whale fin and the front
Yeah.
grill.
Yeah.
They kind of changed it up. It looked like almost like the Feli sneaker symbol. I like that car. But like I said,
They are nice
insurance
cars.
once they heard turbo, they were like
Yeah.
$2,000. And this is like maybe 87.
They were hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And
Unreal.
especially
Unreal.
if you
I was
had
like,
any
nah, I can't
kind
have
of if you had any kind of little points or anything on your tickets, on your driver's record, man, you were paying through the nose. The
Mhm.
day that I brought my Fox Body, my GT home, I called the insurance guy up and he said, "You did what?" And I said, Yeah, I bought this GT Mustang. And he goes, "Where's the car at?" And I said, "Home. I just brought it home." And he goes, "You do realize you have 10 points
Whoa.
and you're like, your first 6 months on that car is like $3,200 for insurance." And I was like, "Well, it's sitting in the driveway, so whatever."
Yeah.
Kids.
Crazy.
10 points. That gets you not driving in New York.
Yeah. Oh, I had to go. It was funny. I had to go to hearing. I had been pulled in, and of course, I told them I needed my driver's license for my work because I was, a mechanic, and I needed my driver's license and everything. And so I had to go to driving school. And so we're sitting there, and there was like, I don't know, 15 guys. We're all sitting in this classroom, and it's done by the cops, 2 motorcycle cops, and they're sitting there. And of course, they have us kind of lined up, and they're asking, like, of course, this is big with the DUI and DWIs, and so forth. So they're asking everybody what they're in for, why they're here. And it was DUI, DWI, all this stuff. And they said, all right, big guy, what are you here for? I said, drag racing. And he goes, what, you think it's 1956 or something? That's what the cop told me. And I said, with the race car, I said, I can't afford alcohol and drugs. It's just, So with the whole class was everything about alcohol, your limit, how you did, and everything. And they, of course, both the cops thought it was funny. They were like, what, you think it's 1956? Drag racing? Who drag races?
So no, you don't understand. There was no car involved. It was we were in a dress and high heels. We were out on the boulevard. Me and another guy. We were like,
it was a foot race.
Yeah.
So
I remember I was on my way to college. It was what's it called? I had a 77 Trans Am, 400, bad car. On my way on a 30 mile an hour, I got clocked going 122 miles an hour.
Oh, there you go. You're like
clock
me.
going 122 miles an hour. Cop stopped me, right? And he was just like, I'm just gonna let the judge have fun with you. Take this ticket. I know you're gonna try to fight it. Go for it, right? So I get in the classroom, right? Now the class was what's it called? At like 9:00, right? And he wrote the ticket for the wrong day. So he wrote the ticket for 9:00 on a Tuesday, which on Tuesday, I was already in class at like 8:30. The class started at 8:30, so I couldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So I had my teacher, because I was looking at the ticket, and she goes, "Why are you late?" I said, "The cop stopped me, such and such." And I was looking at the ticket. I was like, "Holy crap, he put the wrong day." Put the wrong day. And so I got off on a technicality, and the judge was trying to roast me. The judge was trying to roast me. And he was just like, "Come on, tell me, son, was that really you?" I was like, "Listen, a lot of people drive my car. I don't know who took it out that day."
a lot of people drive my car.
I don't know who took it out that day. Like he said, "But you could tell me. We're gonna let you go. But was it really you?" I was like, the teacher says I was in class, and I was in class that day. So, And he lost his mind. Get out of my courtroom!
Because my father had been clapping the races and closing windows after class. I was there late.
Yeah, I was sitting there. My father was just like, "Well, what's it called? When he got this ticket, what's it called? I took the car away, but he made it seem like that my father. It wasn't for your father getting rid of that car. He thought that my father sold the car. But we drove up in the car."
Thanks, Dad.
So I got off on a technicality, and
I had something very similar. I got nailed for like you said, I was doing like 120 or whatever, got clocked, and the cop came out after, pulled out, went after, and I stopped. And that cop went by me, backed up, and the first thing he said, he goes, "Why did you stop?" That's what he said. And so he wrote, and like I said, we went through, and he went through the whole car and the whole 9 yards. And he figured, because everybody fights the tickets. So he wrote down on the ticket, $1.40, but he in the note section he wrote clocked at certain speed, so that if I went to court, the judge, they would read that, So I'm reading, I'm like, I was like, man, I want to. So I just went in, paid the $40, and never got anything, because he wrote this whole thing about in the notes about how I was speeding and this and that and the whole 9 yards, but he only made it $1.40 fine instead of a must appear thing, Yeah. So I just paid. I guess he figured everybody was going to fight it,
Right.
So it was crazy. Those were the good old days.
I was coming from Rhode Island. Are you familiar with? You ever been to Smithfield, Rhode Island?
No.
If you go to
Went to
Smithfield, Rhode
Smithfield
Island,
Pork.
no. If
Right.
you go to Smithfield, Rhode Island. No. Newport. I think it's Newport. Rhode
yeah.
Island.
Newport. Yeah.
You have these two bridges that you got to go across. Back-to-back bridges. I was coming from, I don't know where, girlfriend's house. and I was, I got at the toll and I was on the bridge and this Cadillac, what's it called? What kind of Cadillac was it? It had to have been like a North Star Cadillac, like the Eldorado, the two-door, the really good-looking one. But they should have, it was like, I guess maybe like it was the Eldorado back like in maybe mid-90s, early 90s. It was like a two-door coupe looking. It was really nice.
Had that
like
drop-off
95.
ass.
Yeah, yeah. They should have made it a rear-wheel drive, and they probably would have sold a lot more.
Right.
But racing across, that car came up, and I had my Super Coupe, man. I had, I had to represent, man. So we're flying across the first bridge, flying across the second bridge, and here comes a cop, come flying. At this side, I seen him, and I just let the guy just go, right? Cop comes flying right past me. I was like, woohoo, got out of that one, right? At the toll. Now, this is like 3 a.m, and he had the guy to the side, and the state troopers just sitting there in the middle of the highway, just like this. And here I
Waiting
go,
for
my
you.
toll, and he was just waiting. He was just like, yo, move it over there. And he got me.
Oh, boy.
He got me. And I tell you, that was the nicest stop. It was almost like a pleasure. He goes, he says, the ticket's going to be about $50, right? No points. I was like, great. Can I pay now? He goes, no. And he goes, and I said to him, well, what if I don't pay? He said, if you don't pay, just don't come to Rhode Island. If you come to Rhode Island, we're going to take you. But don't, if you plan to move to California, never coming back, don't pay.
Don't pay.
I was like, no. I think I'd rather just buck up,
Yeah, just in case.
Just in
I'll send
case,
you a check.
That's how to get rid of the girlfriend. Sorry, baby, I can't come back to Rhode Island.
I know, right?
Police told me not to come back.
The police said they can't come back,
I think your dad had something to do with that. I think your dad must have had that state boy telling me not to come back anymore. Sorry, baby, I can't come.
Oh man.
I repoed a Fox
boy.
body Mustang in Cleveland, and I was bringing it back. My buddy was following me in his car, and this dude pulled up next to me in a Acura, and he had his girl in the car. Man, I blew him a new hole. got to the toll booth, and his girl was cracking up at him. I was like, "Baby, just jump on in with me. We roll."
Yeah.
I blew him up.
Hey Lewis, did I read it right? Are you grandpops now?
Yeah, well, I already got 4. This would be my 5th.
Okay. Well, congrats. That's why I called you for the third. Once again,
Woo!
congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah,
And my son
congrats.
Lewis is having a boy or girl. No, what? Boy. He's having a boy.
Very cool.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm
thank
still
you.
waiting, David.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's becoming a dad.
Good for
I'm
him.
a dad.
He'll be a
First
good
time
father.
for him.
Yeah, yep. Yep, my oldest daughter has 4 boys.
Yeah, Lewis will be
Wow.
a good dad. I can feel it. He'll be
Yeah,
a good
they
father.
they planned out
Like,
everything.
Granddad got Cat Suelo in the school bus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Fellas, working on a 67 Chevelle nonstop.
yeah.
Yeah, it's looking good, man.
You're
All
hitting
your
it.
videos.
That guy, yo. And I got that car out in Long Island too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's your first
Oh, yeah.
mistake.
Well, you know what? Look what it's giving you, though. It's giving you content.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's giving me content. I mean, like I said, the guy, you know what the guy wanted? The guy wanted. Well, it was a driving car. It was a driving car. I drove it. And he wanted. Jesus Christ, how much? He wanted $8,500 for that car. It was all in primer. Automatic guy knew something was up.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know if I told y'all the story, but me and him almost got into a fight because he was bragging how well his son was. Oh, he did all the welding on this car. Oh, he's phenomenal and all this nonsense. So I was looking at it and I was just looking at all this popcorn, and I was like, "Your son did the welding?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's
said
like-
by the guy who's never welded a thing in his life.
Yeah. And
Right.
I said, your son sucks. I told him flat out. I said, "Your son said what? Excuse me, your son sucks." You know, like, yo, man, you should watch your mouth. I was like, I'll say it again. Your son sucks. And I tell you why your son sucks. You sitting up here, you bragging on your son's ability as far as welding. And, you know, normally I'd be like, okay, give you benefit of the doubt. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm sitting in the garage and I'm looking at the cars you have here. You have a RSSS sitting over there, Camaro. He had like a GTO sitting over there in pristine condition. So that tells me you know what a pristine car looks like. You know what a good car is. And for you to sit there and tell me if this car is a good car, that means you're either trying to take advantage, which that's what I think you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I say your son sucks. They said, now, you know, this whole car is going to have to be re-sheet-skinned. You know it and I know it. The whole car is going to have to be re-sheet-skinned. You got to get rid of this car. So I'm going to make you an offer. You want $8,500 for it? I'm going to make you an offer. And if I get to my car, there's no Terry come back, whatever, such and such, you know, like let's negotiate, nothing like that. No. So here's my offer. I'm going to give you, you know, I said it was $1,500 for the car just because it's a 67 Chevelle. I'm walking. So I started walking, got to about maybe like 4 steps from my car. And he was like, could you make it $3,000? Because he knew. And I was like, I tell you what I'll do. I'll find another 500, make it $2,000. That's it. That's all. That's it. So I paid $2,000 for the body and I re-sheet-skinned the whole thing. And, you know, it needed work. And I was just like, you know, like it's a 67 Chevelle. I don't want to see this thing go to the crusher because that's exactly probably where it was going. You know, and I'm the only one stupid enough to take on to it. But, you know, but I like a challenge. So, you know.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Exactly.
I imagine you thought it was worth saving.
Oh, no, I definitely thought it was worth saving because, like, I'd rather have it like this where I know that I've done it and I know what the car is, that it's done. And I'm going to, you know, I just want to make it safe because, like, whoever gets it, even after I'm long gone, if my son wants it or whoever, I want it to be a safe car for him. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm taking extra steps and make sure I'm doing it right and everything like that. You know,
I like that.
That's cool.
You know, so, but I think about going to do a 427. Thinking about putting a 427.
I had a 427 in my car for a while. It's a good motor.
Yeah, very good.
No, well, hold on a sec. Let's not get that. Let's not get beside ourselves. An LS.
Rev them up good.
Well,
I thought you were talking about a big block.
Big block or an LS?
No.
Real 427.
Taking a 4th gen 5.3 and getting some Darton sleeves, cramming them in there.
You know, John, right what you were talking about before.
You should have stayed with Fords because then you wouldn't have got sucked into that vortex of LS.
John, you'll smile when you watch Steve Magnate's latest video. He did the 3rd gen Camaros, did the 82s, 85, 2 of them in the junkyard, and he shows all the differences in the bodies. And, you know, went from the 4-cylinder, and he was showing what he says this, you know, most of them had this would have like a 305, and he opens the hood, and whoa, it's a big block Chevy under the hood. It's like somebody put this thing in, and it looked just like it was taken out of a truck or something. Yeah, this could be a 454 or maybe a 402. Cast iron intake on it, quadrajet, the whole bit. It was literally just taken out of something and thrown in this Camaro.
Just right up in there, yeah.
Potential. But
and it was in a 3rd gen.
Yeah, but it was showing. He says
neatly.
These engine bays will take the motor.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
It's the 4th gens that are a big problem.
Yeah,
I would love.
The motor sits under the windshield.
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
Those things are a pain.
Yeah.
That's why I like building them as drag race cars because you chop the windshield out.
Right.
You know? We've got one in the shop right now, a WS6 98.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, folks,
I'm still waiting for my buddy to get ready to get off his Grand National. It's coming to me. It's going to come to me.
I don't know. Hey, I got a
the
package
original
in the
owner.
mail.
Well, he's the original owner, and he does not want the car.
Look at that. That's a nice light.
Let's go on the school bus.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at that.
You put it on the roof or down on the nose somewhere?
I got 2 of them. There's one going on the back and one going on the front.
All right. So my question about those is because I see them on the SUVs and the trucks, and obviously they have a lot of light. But do they
Yeah.
project? So can
Yes.
you use that as a driving light, or is it just for illumination?
Well,
in the
on
area?
the sides, like from here up on each side, are floodlights. Then the rest are the regular beam.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the light when he shows them
I
up.
do.
Yeah, see
But
'em?
so my question is still, how far will that project? So can you use it as a driving,
Well, I'm not gonna use it as a driving light. I'm using it as
just illumination?
no, for Sasquatch lights, because I'm putting two. I got two small ones too that are going on the side, so they'll be all the way around the whole bus. So if somebody's acting up and I had to hit the switch and light up
Those
the
are
whole area,
those are off-road lights.
yeah, they call them Sasquatch setup. So I'll have
Yeah.
a switch in the bedroom and a switch in the front. If I hear some noise out there, kick on the lights and then cock some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you get caught driving on the highway with those things, forget
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
They all do it. I hate those lights because they all do it up here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys here putting them low, lower on the vehicle, so obviously to illuminate the road. But again, I don't know how I don't think they're made to project. I think they're just made to illuminate. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
came out, I just think they're made to compensate, and to end the story.
well, there's that too. Yeah.
There's no need for a 4-foot wide light on anything.
Yeah, school.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be,
Well, yeah, on
go
the
off-
schoolie.
if you're going to be off road, if you're going to go up off road or do some, camping or something, I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got the paint coming tomorrow.
Cool.
We changed the color.
What's that?
Two?
We're going with a pearl orange
Nice.
Oh
Really?
wow! Yes,
and pearl white at the top.
Nice.
that'll look
And the
awesome.
rub rails are going to be gunmetal flake or gunmetal gray.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
On the rub rail.
yeah,
Nice.
that'll look really good. That's a good combination.
I tell you, you can
Very
pinstripe orange with lime green and purple, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
look
pinstripe with some
awesome.
Even
I'm gonna
yellow.
have Keith do it.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Keith do it. And I gotta. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm doing on the back of the bus yet. Me and Keith were talking about it, and Arco. So I got.
I know what he's doing. I already know what he's doing.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna come and do a giant, oversized Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Back off, bitch.
Yeah. So yeah, I got some stuff coming. It's gonna be good.
Nice.
Cool. Very cool.
Oh, I found. You know what else I found? I was talking to Stacey David, and he hooked me up with a guy down. Where's he at? I can't think where he is, but they make aftermarket airbags for trucks and medium duty trucks.
Mhm.
And you should see the setup. It mounts up on the frame behind the wheels, like in between, like behind the pumpkin, like right in that section. It mounts up there. It's pretty slick.
Yeah.
$3,500
That's
bucks.
awesome.
Wow. Do you have to do a lot of welding?
No, it's no weld. It's all bolt on.
Bolt on. All right.
You unhook the leaf springs and they mount onto these brackets, and then the rest of it mounts up on the frame.
Wow.
It's pretty slick.
That's cool.
$3,500. I was real surprised. I thought it was gonna be,
That's cheaper than an airbag system for a Chevelle.
Who makes
Yeah.
them? Firestone, Airlift.
no, it's
Bags are
let's
us.
see. Hold on, this.
Heck, sorry, us.
I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't remember the stuff.
Johnny
Really
Bag of
does.
Donuts.
Donuts.
Yeah.
What
are you eating, Brian? What are you licking your fingers? What are you eating?
He's eating.
He's starting already. He's starting already, this guy.
What are you eating there?
We have a couple
huh?
hours to go, man.
Not me.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
not
look
you.
at him. Look at him. He's got the, the mason jar.
Yeah.
He's got the mason jar. That ain't water.
Well, it's not white powder.
Shine.
Yeah, it's not white powder because
A little bit of granddad's cough syrup. That's all.
There you go. Oh yeah.
That's a spirited drink. Get it?
No, the Brianna, they made brownies upstairs. So Brianna
you're
brought me
bringing up
down
for
some
everybody.
brownies.
Hash
No,
brownies.
unfortunately, no. I won't do that. I won't eat in front of you guys.
That's all right.
They
I
got.
do all- I don't care.
I cleaned out the ice cream cake the other day, and everybody.
nice.
I'm on the dead man walking list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You wanted to go to waste, right?
Yeah, well, if it's going to sit in there for a couple days and not be touched, I mean, that's fair game.
That's
I
it.
gotta tell you,
Yeah.
my wife's been getting me these. It's like it looks like the carb saucer, but they're from Stu Leonard's, and it's like a yogurt. I like a frozen yogurt. You would think this was vanilla chocolate
Yeah,
ice
some
cream.
frozen yogurt is really good.
Very
I just
good.
had one.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
I did too. I just had one before. Yeah,
Right. I ate it before I logged in.
right.
Is it a bar? Is it like a ice cream bar?
It's like a
No.
Carvel flying saucer.
Like a flying saucer. It's like
Oh, okay.
two cookies with the ice cream in the middle. It's about an
Yeah.
inch and a quarter thick.
Yeah, they had. We had. Remember I told you about the ice cream pizza thing for the white, and that sat in the freezer there. So I finished that up, and Brianna just came down. She said, "What happened to the pizza?" And I said, "I ate it."
Yeah.
So look, we gonna save it for like posterity.
I was like, "Look, I was doing you girls a favor, 'cause,
right.
swim season coming up, swimsuit, you gotta look good, and of course, I already have a body built for speed.
Right.
I just go ahead and take the bullet. And,
Right.
Just tell them
Yeah.
it must be eaten by date. on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't want it to go to waste, so
You can't let it burn. You can't let it freeze or burn. It's a sin. Come on.
That's
gotta,
it.
Yeah.
It's a sin.
What a
gotta
gentleman.
eat it.
I know, right? What a
What
gentleman.
a pal.
oh well.
Well, fellas, it's about that time. I gotta go. I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
Ted.
come on.
All righty.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Yeah, go ahead, old man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good though, Terry. The hair is looking good.
Tight.
Oh, you see the you
Yeah,
see the
man.
front? Yeah, it's getting
Nice.
there.
Nice.
You know, like
Nice-
I said,
nice shape.
It's
That's all right.
pat it down, man.
That's
It looks
amazing.
good.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got the alfalfa going.
One night you gotta pick that out as far as it'll go, and then
As
turn
far
the
as it
camera
goes,
on.
it'll be uneven.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll do that. I gotta get it. I gotta get it trimmed though. But I mean, look.
Wow.
You got to pick it out, man, and then show up.
So
that's
Yeah.
gotta be, check me on this. That's got to be hot as hell because that's now dense and compact, right? Is that
No,
warm?
it's all right. I mean, I had it most of my life, so it's all right.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question: when it's all compacted in there, does it get like spongy, which makes it like more
you know
comfortable
what it
when
is.
you lay
Also,
down?
it's wet out, so I'm gonna do a video. Like, when I get caught out in the rain, it's gonna be like a regular throw, and then I shake it out. And you see all this water coming out.
Oh my
I'll
god!
make sure
I
I do it in
guess
slow motion.
I think I'm thinking what you are, John. It's like carrying your own pillow with you, so you want to lay down. It's,
I would
right,
think
comfortable.
right. It's comfortable.
It's bittersweet.
I lay down. It's
bittersweet
like
But you know what it is? Like, you always got that
Bald
one little
head on
hair
the
that's
pillow.
messing with your ear, and you think it's a mosquito.
Yeah.
I get them. Get
Couple
'em in my
years
nose,
back,
too.
I grew dreads.
Yeah.
I was growing dreads out, and one day I was cutting grass, and man, it was hot, and I started itching. I'm cutting the grass. It's like I left the lawnmower in the front yard, ran in the house, cut it all off. My wife's like, "What happened to your hair?" I was like, "Man, it was too itchy. I don't know how
Yeah.
to dudes do it."
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I gotta, no.
Oh man, it was terrible.
But
Crazy.
anyway, gentlemen, as always, please be easy.
Terry, be
See
easy.
you later, brother.
All right,
Okay,
bro.
take it
man.
easy, Terry.
Talk to you guys real soon. Take
Talk to
care.
you
All
later.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
I'm gonna have
that
to
guy.
jump myself. I almost had a surprise guest tonight, but he had he's building a new building, so the guy was there doing plans. So I was gonna surprise everybody, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Make
But-
plans to change.
Somebody
Yeah.
famous?
Yeah, he's famous. Yeah,
Get out of here.
if I would have went to Vegas, we would have been at his party. Let me just say that,
Okay.
John, you'd have been in the entourage.
Mr. Welder up, dude.
Yeah, Steve.
I like that guy.
He's cool, man. He's a cool dude.
He is. He's crazy, cool, mellow.
Yeah. Have you seen that? I think it's it might be a 57 Chevy. He has two of them.
Yes.
But the one has
The one that he
is
built
sitting
for the
on-
girls? Or was it
No.
55?
This one is sitting on a Corvette. Not a Corvette. Cadillac V.
Chassis?
Chassis.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's a monster. It's
That's
a beast.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets nice stuff. If all of us end up in Vegas, we got to go and we'll take a tour, man. He has a nice tour too. You can tour his whole shop. He had a big shop.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad
Yeah,
you
he
said
did.
that. There was an article in the paper today. It says Las Vegas tourism rebounds. Nevada's tourism economy is putting the coronavirus behind it. Let me just get to the best part. The best casinos. They said they've had the best casino winnings ever for February, and the airport serving Las Vegas announcing plans to resume nonstop international flights in April.
Nice.
The Nevada Gaming Control Board on Wednesday reported the 12th straight month of $1 billion or more in casino house winnings.
Wow.
Right? So here's where the money's going.
Yeah.
Not mine.
That's a key index of state economic health. So that's what they
What they're
survive
used to.
on.
Sure.
The state reaped almost $99 million in casino taxes based on the figure, up more than 34% from a year ago. So that's their economic indicator is
Mhm.
Yeah.
how the
Well,
casinos are doing.
you would think if they were pulling in that much in taxes, that they would do something with McCarran Airport because it's a shithole.
Yeah. Well, that means the money's going somewhere else,
Yeah.
right?
They got
Going
Formula One going there.
Formula One's going there.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, they
November
saw the-
2023.
Yeah, they showed the track it laid out or whatever.
It's gonna go right down Las Vegas Boulevard.
I'm
I know,
surprised
that'd
not
be
doing
awesome.
the e-racing series like they do here in New York.
Yeah.
The Formula cars
crazy.
that are battery powered.
I was looking
Now-
at the red line map of the actual track,
Yep.
and they are gonna run those cars right down Las Vegas Boulevard.
That'd be
Imagine what
sweet.
that'll sound like.
Yeah.
That'd be like going down the
Crazy.
street in Manhattan, you know?
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
It's
Now, Ray, are you
insane.
going to SEMA this year?
I don't know. I'm still trying. I'm trying to get past the next month and a half of my life, and I'll decide what I'm doing. Got a lot going on.
I
I
think
think
we all
SEMA will probably be good this year. It'll be perfect next year.
yeah. I think we all should get an Airbnb, one of those big mansions.
Oh,
That
One of
would
my
be cool.
friends, this was maybe 4 years ago. He rented a big mansion, right? So he calls me. He goes, "Hey, I rented a 19-bedroom place, and all my buddies backed out on me."
wow.
Oh,
And he put it in his name. He was like, "Do you already got your room?" I was like, "I already got my room, man, or I would come." But yeah, we should all should just get a big old mansion with a pool and Papa Squirrel and Debbie can come through and hook up the breakfast.
nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Put them to work. You're so cruel.
Man, listen, Papa Squirrel and Debbie they're troopers, man. They're every booth at SEMA. If you come
Yeah.
around the corner, there they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got a feeling you put this group in either a shop together or a kitchen, and there's going to be something happening.
Yeah, you're gonna have some food, some snacks.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Well, something to think about. I'll have to pass that by the wife, though. She likes to gamble, so she's going to want to be in a casino.
Uh-oh.
You know, I was telling my wife, I was talking to my wife about it too, and she likes that idea. Being in the hotel, you come like the way you described it. You come right
Just go
down into that.
downstairs.
That's what she likes. That's her idea too. So
I'm telling you, you would fall in love with the Venetian.
Hmm.
Because that
Yeah.
place is like being in Italy.
yeah,
It's
awesome.
insane. It's awesome. The decorations, I mean, the marble floors. It's just crazy.
be like being at
You
your
know,
house.
In that place.
You know who was
Yeah,
popping
right.
though is the Bellagio.
Bellagio
Discovery.
is super nice.
I took some cars out for Discovery one year for SEMA, and they put me up
Yeah.
in the Bellagio,
Nice.
and those rooms were $700-800 a night.
Wow. Yeah,
And this was 10 years ago, no longer than that, like
Yep.
15 years ago. Yep.
yeah. Bellagio's nice. Caesars is nice. Venetian is nice.
Caesar was pretty rough when we were there in February.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Oh
old.
yeah, they're in the
It's
middle.
been
Of,
around a long time.
I was a little upset how Caesars was because
It's
I
getting
like
kinda old.
Caesars, but they're in the middle of redesigning the whole front. I mean, it was some construction going on,
Yeah.
and they had some stuff blocked off. And
Have you ever been in the wind?
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
wind is no joke either.
but I was a little disappointed on. I was excited going back to Caesars because I like it, but it was pretty rough.
Unreal.
But you have to go through Caesars though, just to go through, like you're
Yeah, just to
walking
walk
through Rome.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
well,
you
they
can
have the
spend
same thing at the Venetian too. You go through there and there's,
Yeah,
that
you can actually
fake,
spend your
fake
whole
indoor city.
your whole vacation just going through the different casinos.
Oh yeah.
I haven't
Unreal.
been to the casino that has the cars in it though. You know which one that is? They got a big museum. It might be
Really?
it might be the Win.
The museum.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Every year-
We walked through the one with the tigers.
That's
Yeah, that's
That was up by the Venetian. They had the tigers, and we went down there and watched them during feeding time and so forth. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
I've been getting asked to go down to
went there.
Florida to go to Desoland. There's a thing actually wanted me to go down in April, but I said,
Yeah, when is that show again?
well, the model show's in June. This thing in April, they're doing like it's like a Wednesday, Thursday. It's a car show with
Really?
a drift thing and
Oh, cool.
middle of the week. But
Nice.
I said, look, I only got about 6 weeks left, 7 weeks left, so I got to get through April.
Yeah.
But
you got to spend some your vacation or your sick time, don't you? You got to kill some of your sick time.
that's taking half days. I took half day Tuesday, every Tuesday, Thursday. I'm taking tomorrow, Fridays off. I'm burning days, and I'm still going to be at the max. So I'm trying to dump days like crazy.
Listen, they ain't getting my money, bro. I'm gonna call off, man. I'm getting my money. Believe me.
What's worse is the severance package they got to pay me. I'm going to get taxed 40% on it.
See, that's a rip.
I know.
That's
Well,
an
you know what?
absolute rip off.
But I found I can open these 2 tax deferred accounts. I can dump almost half of it into those.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it, I'm going to take the tax hit, and I'm going to live off the other half for like 2 years, and then let the pension just grow. Let that keep growing, and just live off. I just got to wrap your head around taking the hit. Yeah, we're just like I said, we're just playing with figures, back and forth. It's crazy.
Yeah, my wife's
worth-
got a
it's worth paying
boatload
a
of sick
good-
days,
Yeah.
and when she's ready to get out in 2 years, they got to pay her for it.
I got 100.
She doesn't have to burn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to burn it. She gets paid for it.
They will be paying me for 184 and a half sick days.
I think my place is 20%. You get 20%.
Yeah.
I'm getting all of mine. Believe me.
Yeah, not smart. That's smart.
You know, it's worth paying a good financial guy to get you all set up too.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
pay a
yeah.
couple bucks now to get more of your money.
Right.
You know.
That's what I'm doing. I hooked up with a guy who's good, and you then you gotta. The thing with that is it's like going to a mechanic or going to a financial guy or any professional. You almost need to know as much or more than they do to know if they're giving you the right advice.
Right.
Otherwise, what do you know? You don't know.
Yep.
It's true.
So you gotta just have faith.
Yep.
Because everybody
Crazy,
does things different ways.
It's crazy. You got to fight for the money you earned. You know what I mean?
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
But,
All right, guys, time for me to bail.
All right.
I gotta go.
Jim.
All right,
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah, I'm jumping ship too. I'm on vacation next week,
Nice.
Oh, nice.
so I gotta finish some stuff around the house and maybe work on the bus a little bit.
Beautiful.
If it's not too
No.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you like it was 70 yesterday and today is gonna be 30.
It was nice here. It wasn't bad. It was a little windy, but it was, it wasn't cold. I watched the video from a guy. He just posted it. He shot it up in the Bronx just today, and he had snow flurries. I'm like, so just that far from here, this, it's like I could be there in 40 minutes, and it's snow flurries. So
Yeah, crazy.
yeah, it is.
Between
All
that
right,
and the rain.
fellas. I'll talk
Right.
to you next week.
All right,
If
Lewis.
anything-
All right.
Anything
Hey, well,
pops up, I'll hit you guys up.
All right, very
All right,
good.
Lewis. Take care.
All right,
Talk to you
later.
then. Oh, yeah.
I keep getting these junk text messages.
What kind of text message? What do you got?
Parcel 1 track. Hello, your package containing tracking code 5622112JS6 is waiting for you to check the shipping address.
Yeah.
We'll
click here.
call pickups.com.
Right.
And
I
then
heard
it's got
something on
some
the
other
radio
crap
this
behind
morning.
it.
They said there's a new scam going around where you get a text from your phone number.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And they said, most people are curious enough to reply, but they said no, that's a sure scam.
Yeah.
I
I had years ago, I had a company that we found online that designed the logo for the aquarium service.
right.
They built me a web page, and it was like unlimited changes, the whole deal. Came up with the logo we wanted. Then they sent me all of the graphic files, EPS files, PDF files, all to do all of that stuff for your business.
Right. And
And then they built me a website, and the website they built was kind of crappy, but it plodded along, And then I just recently had the website redone. About 6 months ago, I get a text from them, and they're like, "We're the guys that built your website, and hope you're still using all of that stuff." And then we got a notification that a company is trademarking the same name as your company, and you should get your trademark in before the deadline so this guy doesn't wind up owning your company name. So I didn't really understand what this guy was talking about, and I made a couple of phone calls, and he was sending me information, something that looked like a real official thing off the trademark website, the whole deal. I went up on the trademarking website, and I couldn't find an application for it. So I called the guy back after I called my lawyer. My lawyer was like, "That's bullshit." He goes, "They're just trying to get money out of you."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, fine." So I called the guy, and I basically broke his chops on the phone. And I was like, I said, nobody, he sent me this thing that it was somebody in Utah was doing the licensing, doing the trademark, some corporation. And I'm like, it's probably a shell corporation. I go, and I don't believe it's going to happen. So you know what? See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
2 days ago, they send me another text message. Same thing. So I texted back because it's the thing that's funny is the text that they give you, the phone number they give you, it's their number. It's a working number. So they're trying to scam you, just trying to find people that aren't educated enough to know what's going on.
Right.
So I texted them back. I'm like, you guys tried doing this with me 6 months ago. I said, and my lawyer went up on the site, and there's no application trying to use my name as a trademark. I said, so if you're trying to do that to scam me and register it in a shell corporation, I said, my lawyer will sue you for everything you got because he belongs to the largest law firm in the country. I said, and I still have the first texts back and forth that we did from 6 months ago. I said, and I'm going to send him this one. I said, and he's going to put this all together in a package, and he's going to send it to the judicial department. I said, so, figure out what you're doing here because you ain't going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes later, they were like, thank you for your reply. We won't be contacting you anymore.
Right.
I was like, yeah, okay. So I can imagine how many people they're getting paid to do that because they wanted to charge me like $600.
Wow.
Right. And I went up on the U.S. government trademark site, and it's like $1.25.
Yeah.
To get it going. So everybody's got some sort of deal. Everybody's looking to rip you off for something.
Yeah. Well, they figure, they play the law of averages. If they can hit 1 out of 100, they're doing all right.
I get like 15, 20 phone calls a day that they come up as spam.
Yeah.
And then I get the ones that when you answer the phone, because it's the same area code,
right?
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
And lately, every other call is somebody trying to sell me old man life insurance. Or
really?
health insurance. Old man health insurance.
They probably flagged you at your age.
Yeah. So I'm like, go away.
Oh, yeah. Speaking, I thought of you. I got the brand new one yesterday.
There you go. You got the
My
AARP
I
card.
got my brand new one. I should start using the services, I tell you, because they take
I'm
care
going to
of
look it up. If they got some stuff that's good, it's worth joining.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
The
But
stuff I read, though, they make massive donations to the left.
I'm not surprised.
They're a very left-leaning group.
Yeah.
So,
but the way I figure is, I don't have to give any more than the membership, and if I could use the benefits,
yeah,
what the hell?
If it's worth the price of admission, then it's worth it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Justin, you taking notes on all this?
So you'll know.
I got my pen and paper. Taking notes.
Better.
I'll be there one day.
I hang out with some old guys years ago, and man, they had all this stuff figured out. And I wonder what happened to those old bastards.
Yeah,
they're dead by now.
Those were different days.
Yeah.
That was a different world.
Well,
I'll get there one day.
Yeah, well,
and it'll be faster than you think.
Faster than you think, and you better hope it's even a shadow of what we got today.
Start putting money away now, man. Open an IRA, do something. Start now.
Yeah.
Either that or just take I don't know what's going to happen. They're talking about getting rid of cash. Take like $200 every week. Buy yourself a safe. Start shoving that $200 every single week into that safe.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
See, that's
and then when you can invest in something, you got that money there.
I even told the financial guy that I'm using, I said, listen, I want to take that my severance. I said, and get like a 4-inch PVC pipe cap and bury it in the back. Whoa, don't do that. I'm like, why not? I'm like, this way I know I know where it is and I know what I got. It's there's nothing like having cash.
It's true. But they keep talking about how they want to go to digital.
Yeah, well, they've been trying for years.
But they'll upend like a bag of cash for. I just saw a show the other night. They were trying to figure Dillinger. They said dumped a bunch of money before he split, and they're trying to find it like on the property and in the lake, and I'm just picturing it like you dig up all these old bills that are from that period. It's still legal tender, even though we don't even see stuff like that anymore. That's got to be good. Yeah, cash is king.
And then you find the guy like me that buys the old cash. I have 1934 20s and there's guys that collect it, and that market is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know. And I think my oldest dollar is like 1860 or 1886 or something like that is my oldest bill.
I got a couple from the early 1900s. I got an envelope full of $2 bills. I worked at Dairy Barn years ago. Your ears get so in tuned when you deal with change. It's like you could tell if there was a washer in there, or you could tell if it was a silver coin. Yep. You could hear that silver. And I'd always take that stuff home. Yeah, always get a thing full of silver. And like I said, $2 bills.
The newest thing. Let's see if I have one here. On a 2022 quarter, they've changed it.
Did they?
The head's facing the opposite way.
Oh,
Oh wow.
and it's got a bigger head. See, this is an older coin, and see how it's this way.
Yeah.
And they fake. Well, actually, in the casting on the mouth of George is messed up, and a handful of them got out, and they're going for about $52 on eBay.
Wow.
So
Man, I haven't been on eBay in a long time.
yeah, it's a ripoff, dude. Stay away.
I get daily. I got saved searches, and I see stuff every day that's up there, and I don't know.
When I used to use eBay a lot, when I was buying drum stuff, and when I was buying stuff for the bar, I found all of these sellers that were selling in those genres.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I can't delete them.
Really?
I get mail from them, and I go on my eBay account, and I go in saved sellers.
Saved sellers, right.
And they are not there.
Wow.
They've been deleted out of my saved sellers, yet I get email, and the email is from eBay.com.
Yeah,
and then it's like I got a guy that sells tap handles and just weird kitschy shit for your bar.
Yeah.
And like vintage beer cans and things like that, and beer bottles. And I don't want anything to do with this, and I can't delete this damn dude. And I even marked his email as spam, and it still comes through.
Wow.
And I have no way of stopping this guy from contacting me like every 2 weeks. It's like, look at my new inventory, and it's like, click, don't want it. Why is it? It doesn't go to spam. I can't delete it.
Wow.
It's pissing me off.
Speaking of that, I got a notification through eBay about that rail mount, that Atlas rail mount.
Yeah.
So a couple people were watching. I was watching, and he says, make an offer. So I made a fair offer on it, and they turned it down, and somebody bought it. It was, a used one. But I'm like, all right, I'll watch. I'll see if I'll catch another one. So
there you go.
Then I need another Tom. I got to get another rack Tom.
I got a bunch of them.
Yeah. You got the Octo Toms.
I was talking to my my customer's son yesterday. He's a musician, guitarist, and drummer. He plays lead guitar, bass guitar, drums, the whole deal. And,
wow, nice.
Yeah, he's really, really talented. Kid's amazing. He's got he has 4 octobons. The short one, the first 4.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting around doing nothing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, dude, you want to sell those octobons? I don't know. I was like, come on, man, sell them to me. I want to put them in my kit.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, but you got a lot of drums already. I said, yeah, I know, but I want those.
I know. It's what we do.
I said, I saw this video, which I got to find it again. I'll send you the link. It was from Drum Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do those deals where you got like Terry Bozzio and all of these guys doing stuff?
Yeah.
So it was Terry Bozzio. It was 3 drummers. Mike Porcaro.
Oh, yeah.
Who is
Jeff
Jeff Porcaro. He's completely bald.
Really?
Completely bald. And I'm like, that's Jeff?
Yeah.
And Terry Bozzio has a gut like me.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he did back in the 70s, that's for sure.
Well, he doesn't look like he did back in when I saw him 10 years ago.
He had that long curly hair.
Yeah. 10 years ago. He doesn't look anything like he looked 10 years ago when I met him at my local drum store for a thing that he did.
Uh-huh.
And he's got bad elbows, so he's got those braces.
Yeah.
Those things that like you stretch them and pull them
on
both elbows. He was wearing these funky glasses. His hair is quite thin, and he's got this big old gut, and he's playing on this little drum set. And I'm like, looks like he's having trouble.
Right.
Like, oh my God, this guy hit the wall hard.
See what happens, Justin?
Yeah. And
Take
then,
notes,
and then there
brother,
was
take notes.
then there was a third guy, English guy. I've never heard of him before. So they were like trading off on each other, you know? It's a really, really nice little video. But this guy's got this gorgeous red DW kit.
Nice.
And he's got 3 toms on the top, 2 floor toms, and then just underneath and closer to him from his hi-hat, he's got 4 octobans.
Wow.
And then he's got another, like an 18 by 20 floor tom.
Wow.
Next to the octobans.
Those are hard to reach. You know, those get hard to reach after a
The
while.
way he had it set up, it was right there. He was really able to get to everything. And I was like,
okay.
And he was doing this little syncopated deal off the hi-hats onto the octoban. And he was like, I was like, whoa. And then there was a scene where you could see them. And I'm like, that's the perfect place to put them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got room. So
all right.
I'm trying to convince Junior he needs to sell those to me. Yeah, I want them.
Yep.
4 more drums.
Yeah. Why
Never
not,
have
right?
enough. Yeah. We'll see. I'm actually going to be setting my drum set up again.
Okay.
Right here in the garage. I'm moving stuff out. I started moving stuff. There's quite a bit of room in here now. This weekend I'll be moving more stuff out.
Yeah, I don't see the welding. I don't see the welding tank.
Well, the welder's over here.
Okay. I'm sure it's all there. It's just
Yeah. I'm taking stuff out that I'm not using for this car.
right.
You know, I don't have to bend any more tubing, so
Right.
the tubing bender's leaving. I'm starting to set up the other shop.
Okay.
I got a bunch of stuff against the wall. Like I have a parts washer that's here that doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah.
I used it at the other shop. I cleaned it, drained it, and cleaned it when I brought it here. I never put anything in it because I never had to clean any greasy parts or anything.
Right.
So I'm moving that out of here. I'm moving a bunch of stuff. So I'm minimalizing what's here, which is going to give me room to bring the drum set back out. And I'll leave the drum set stacked up for now.
Yeah.
And then once this car goes to the body shop, then everything that's here is going to leave.
Yeah.
And I'll finish this car, do the plumbing and the wiring and everything at the other shop.
It's nice to have that other shop. Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah. Well, that shop's going to be really good because it'll be the perfect shop for 2 cars.
Yeah.
And it's long and pretty wide. And I'll set it up the right way. I'm going to set it up the right way. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get going on that. But there's a lot of things I still need to do on this. I'm going to get on doing tin work this weekend. And just keep moving. I'm ready to put the frame back in, get it off the rotisserie, put the front frame in, mount the motor, do the transmission mount, do the subframe connectors, start getting stuff powder coated, and just keep going. My wife's like, "Get that thing done. Just get it done. Get it done."
Right.
It's like, yeah, you're right. I just been totally out of it. Not enough energy, running around a lot for work. I come home, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
I have
COVID.
to-
Watch out.
Yeah, right. That's what I think it is. Long-term COVID.
That's it. You better make your filing. Put in your claim. Get your money you're owed. You've been.
What do you mean, get my money? They're gonna give me money?
You've been selected, and you've got COVID, so you might as well collect.
I can get
Sit back.
paid.
You get paid. Be a number. Join the team.
It's perfect. I can work on the car all day and get paid by Uncle
Yep.
Biden.
That's it.
There you go.
So I heard
So, Brian,
today he's emptying the oil reserves to help the average
Yeah.
American.
He
Then
cares
when
about
World
it.
War III comes and we got nothing, the whole country will turn to Venezuela in 48 hours. Because he still has yet to tell the oil companies, start pumping.
Right. They'll switch to battery-powered tanks.
Yeah.
Battery. Yeah.
So, Brian, I think it's pretty cool now when I get those Matco emails and I click on the thing to see the special. It just brings up your page, like, your dealer is.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm still learning the new system, and I haven't really gotten into a lot of stuff. It's teaching the old dog new tricks. I don't know, but it's interesting. I came home today, and when I was getting ready for the show, I noticed that I had 2 flags. So I had a couple customers go ahead and order stuff, and so it's, like I said, it's, if you can, the only thing that drives me absolutely crazy, and you would think by now that they would have a decent marketing department that can understand this stuff.
Yeah.
And so this is a pamphlet to hand out about the app, right? And it's these are packs of 50, I think, or 75, and it tells you about the app. But they don't have the square code to download to go directly to.
Yeah, they should have a QR code on there, right?
Right. So a guy goes, well, where is it? I said, well, you got to go to the Apple Store or the Google Play, look up, So
right.
By that time, the guy's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
What? And instead of just having the barcode, the square, and it download and go.
I'll tell you what. My daughter just figured out how to make one of those for my other daughter's website because she does a website for her. So maybe I can have her make one for you, and then you could just like print it and put it on the wall of the truck and just say, "Here, click this."
Yeah, well, so we had a flyer, like 2 flyers ago or whatever that had that code on there. So I'm walking around with old flyer telling people to download this, and I said, why isn't this on every flyer now? This should be like planted all over the place.
You're right, it should be.
Yeah.
Should.
I don't know. So until I get of course I'm like, I gotta first make sure I get the new system down and understand, and like I said, I'm still learning it because it's
the best way to learn is just to use it and learn as you go.
Right.
So
then hopefully next week, I got to come up with something so I can start, because the app is a great idea. I like the app. I had a guy pay me today through it. I missed him earlier and he paid me.
That's great.
I've had guys order stuff, so it's a great idea. And I know eventually, since we're the only ones that have it at the moment, and I know eventually when that white truck with the red lettering gets it, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
They don't have it already?
No, they don't have it yet.
Wow, they're behind the times.
And when that happens, they have that marketing machine that they're going. They're going to have the firstborn kids popped out with that on their foreheads. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another marketing idea. I was at the shop today, and the girl at the desk, she's got like a Yeti cup, and I look at it and say, it had like the nose of a truck on the front of it, and of course it was a Snap-on truck on the front. And you turn it around, and it was the back of the truck on the back. And it was just 2 like decals, I guess they put on. But she goes, yeah, the guy can't keep these on the truck. Yeah. It's like they're flying off. I'm like, that's a great idea. It's like there's the tool truck on the cup.
Yeah. This this was a really popular one, but unfortunately, it's a.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's like a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah, Volkswagen. Yeah.
And it was labeled, and it was nice, but again, it's almost there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all crazy. But so hopefully they'll get the hint, and we can plaster that whatever it's called.
QR. Maybe
QR.
you got to kick it up the chain to management. and
I
tell
don't
them, hey,
understand how that thing works when you look at all that squiggly stuff.
It's just like chaff. It's like chaff in the sky. The real information's behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like I
your
said, my
phone
daughter
picks
made
it
one.
up and decodes it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing that the phone can look at that thing and know that it's something.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, it just looks like a jigsaw puzzle that somebody didn't fill out.
Right. Right.
You know?
So it's interesting. Like I said, hopefully, of course, I will admit I'm late to the game. I'm one of the last guys on the old system, and they're getting ready to turn it off. So,
There you go.
But it's going to be crazy.
Hey, if it makes you money, it's worth it.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's why I love the app thing, and hopefully it.
Everybody got an app.
Now, if you can get it to pay you like in cash or in brownies, you get like a fried chicken delivery or something.
Ice cream pizzas.
Yeah,
Yeah, right? Ice cream pizzas, or like that thing that I got from the bakery around the corner from my mom's house, a crumb cake pizza.
Yeah.
I tell you, that was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I tried to make it last, but I couldn't.
No.
Yeah, I
should have sent like 3 of them.
Now, do you go for like the cold milk or the hot coffee with that?
I was having it both ways.
Okay. Yeah.
Some mornings I had it with my coffee, and other times I had it while I was kicking back, watching stuff that's on the DVR,
right,
or like watching Lou,
right,
on Wednesday night. Had it as dessert.
Right.
So with that, it would be milk.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer.
Nah, not at all. It's amazing.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
Such a great little invention.
Yeah.
It was one of those things the owner said, so many people were like, do you sell just the crumb part?
Yeah.
And they were like, huh?
It's like, remember Seinfeld, they did the muffin top thing. It was just the muffin. They were cutting the muffins, throwing all the bottoms out, and they were just muffin tops.
Yeah.
Muffin tops.
So there is some coffee cake in it.
Right.
But they roll it out. It's like 1/8 of an inch.
Perfect ratio.
Exactly. It's crumb, and it's like 1/8 of an inch of the cake, just to kind of keep it all sorted together, and then, when they bake it, it kind of gets like a crust on the bottom because it's.
That reminds me of how much I can taste it right now. How much I love the taste of those Drake's coffee cakes.
Yes.
They're so buttery and my God. I love those freaking things.
All right.
I had Entenmann's chocolate frosted donuts today.
Here we go.
I went to Wawa.
Game is
went
on
to Wawa.
now.
Got myself a big old coffee.
And I was a bad boy yesterday.
When I walked in the door, I saw them, and I'm like, "Oh, there you go."
Yep.
I was a bad boy yesterday and went by the pizza place, and they had the New York gigantic slices. And walked out of there with 2 of them, and I had grease and everything else plus piled all. I mean, it was terrible.
I never knew that New York was known for a giant slice.
That's what they. I mean, that's unfortunately. I don't want to start a whole conversation on it. That's just the way they advertise it, and it's very good. It's I don't even know what the name of the pizza place. It's in the mall at over by one of my stops, and I was like, man, I could really go for some pizza. And you walk in, and it's.
Sparrows.
I mean,
I know those people.
Do you?
It's a good slice, and
right. That's all that counts.
And
as long as it's good.
You flip that thing up over, and man, you just covered in grease.
You know it's good when you can fold it, and then the grease pours off it.
It was.
That's how pizza should be.
And of course, I had to be a pig. One's more than enough, but I had to get 2. And
And a bag of garlic knots for just walking out to the truck.
There you go.
Yeah.
And sitting over there just eat. I was like, God, I want to hate myself in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's all right. You get over it.
Yeah. So
Go back for more.
Yeah.
Now, was the crust when you folded it? Was it kind of doughy and it was like a round fold, or did it want to crack?
It was.
If it wants
more
If it wants a crack, it's the real deal. If
That's
it's
the way
rubbery
that it's got to
and it
crack.
has round on the bottom, then
No.
it's a
Gotta-
imposter.
Got to crack.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
well done. Thin crust, well done.
I've had it both ways. Now, this particular batch or this particular pie here, it was more doughy. And I've had
They
them
don't roll it
before.
out thin enough.
Right.
Right,
Don't
I've
cook it
had it
long enough.
before where
Stretch
it was a little thinner, and I gotta admit I like it a little thinner.
So, John, you were saying a while ago that the trick to that was to not cook the current pizza in the same spot that the last pizza was in, right?
It's true.
Right,
True.
yeah.
And that would go for even an electric oven.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard that before you said that.
Yeah. It's very, very important in a brick oven, whether it's wood fired or coal fired.
Yeah.
That's super important because the bricks, they the pizza pulls the heat out of the brick, and then it takes a while because bricks are sort of insulating due just to the fact that there's air within the brick.
Right.
So it takes a while for them to come up to temperature. But I've been told, even by my local guy who's from Italy, that even the ones that work on gas, the commercial ovens you see in the pizzerias, you're not supposed to put the pie in the same place. You just took one out.
Right.
It's going to take longer to cook, and they wind up.
I got a 18 by 18 brick.
There you go.
Like a paver type thing, and that's what I put on top of my grill when I do pizzas.
Yeah.
When I do it, and it's the same thing when you cook it out, and then I move it. Like I said, I move it over to the other side and have to wait before you put the next one in, because if you throw it right on, the other one just won't cook. It won't cook right.
It just sits there.
Yeah, and it's like it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the temperature.
Exactly.
Or the heat in that.
Yeah.
But the key to good New York pizza, is the dough.
Yeah.
The water content in the dough.
Yeah.
And how much they stretch it.
Mm-hmm.
The prep, how does it rise? All of that stuff. There's a lot of things. My uncle taught me a whole boatload of stuff about pizza dough because he would know.
Right.
With the first pizzeria in America, he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Sure
crazy.
Almost slide on out here, guys.
That's got a crack when you fold it.
What are you doing, Justin? You got something to do?
Yeah, I'll slide it out. Call it early night.
All right.
Cool.
So.
All right. Don't hurt yourself.
No promises.
All right. Good. We like that.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Yeah. I'll catch you guys. Have a good one.
All right. So long.
Right.
So long. So, Brian, does your brother ever bring down pizzas from New York when he comes down?
No.
Yeah. Why not?
I need to tell him next time. Probably when he comes down on the train, it probably wouldn't survive the ride.
I just wanted to ask you: is there a? My wife and I were talking about this, taking a trip. Is there one of the super fast trains that come from here to Baltimore?
It's
Amtrak.
It's an Amtrak thing. Yeah,
but I thought there was not the bullet train. That's in China, but there was some super fast train that she heard about. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. I know it's I don't know what it's I think it's an Amtrak.
Let me tell you something. The Amtraks that roll through here, they fly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got a main line that goes. It ends in Tampa, or starts in Tampa. And it goes out to Orlando, and then it works its way to that north-south corridor.
Yeah.
And it comes through my town twice a day. And when that bitch goes by, it's going 65, 70 miles an hour.
Oh, right? Yeah, it's cruising.
It's not a long train. It's got the engine on both ends. It's like an engine car.
Yeah.
on each end, slope nose, and there's like 5 or 6 passenger cars. The gates come down, and that thing goes gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. And that's the same track that you see these like 1.5 2 mile long lumbering diesels that are pulling all of these different chemical cars and ones that got coal in them and the whole and those things go by at the best 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and you sit there forever.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I think I told you there was one like a couple of weeks ago that came through at like 10 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
And it had, we counted like 130 cars.
Wow.
But then there were 2 more engines in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Helpers. So I guess there's no curves in that track anywhere. Or not too many.
Well, I don't know. There's curves.
You gotta be gentle.
Yeah.
So yeah, he comes down and they have a stop over by BWI Airport, which is about 40 minutes away from me. And then he could get on another bus, or they have a shuttle. Then it'll take him down, and he can catch the metro, and he gets dropped off. He gets off at he can either get off at BWI or come down, and they intersect someplace with the metro, and then he gets down to Glenmont, and that's like
Rest Motel.
That's like 10 minutes away from me. And I can pick him up.
Tell him, listen, dude, stop bringing pizzas. I'll pick you up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right? If he's bringing a pizza, you could take the trip.
Right.
Yeah. So
tell him you need one. I'll tell you what. Tell him what to order. Seriously, try this. You're gonna like it. Tell him to tell the guy that you want a white pie.
That's what I always order.
With ricotta on it. Okay.
The ricotta pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you want a large cheese pie, right? Half sausage on one side and half pepperoni on the other side.
I like onion.
Yeah, I want onion too.
Yeah, onion's good.
Yeah, I love onion.
I just told my wife the other day, I said, you know what? I haven't had this in so long. I'm like, all of a sudden, I want to have a garbage pie.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, Brian, did they ever use that term down by you? I know it's a New York term. Because my daughter said, what the hell's that? I said, it's a pie where they just put everything on it. You name it. It
weighs about 100 pounds.
Yeah. It's just like each slice is like, 5 pounds, but you name it, everything is on there. Just to go. We used to get those years ago.
My local guy makes a stuffed pie.
Uh-huh.
So it's crust on the top and the bottom, thin crust top and bottom, right?
Yeah.
And in the middle, he's got ham, pepperoni, sausage, onions, peppers. Inside.
It's like a full-blown calzone inside the pizza.
Right? It's like this thick.
Yeah. Jeez.
Cuts that thing, man. You pick that thing up, it weighs a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
You can't eat more than one slice.
Right.
It's got everything.
Wow.
Then he makes a very, very good buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah, my daughter likes the buffalo chicken pizzas.
I do too. I thought it would be kind of weird the first time I had it.
I never really got into it. Yeah, it's...
Well, you make the pie, pieces of chicken, Texas Pete Red Hot sauce.
Right.
And blue cheese dressing.
Yeah.
And then what he does is right before he does the last spin, he pulls it out and he puts chunks of blue cheese on the pie. Sticks it back in, and that kind of melts in a little bit.
Yeah. The place there's a pizzeria by me here called Roma, and they make a taco slice. I've been having it for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, there's chopped meat, lettuce. It's like, and cheese. It's like a taco on top of this pizza. You got to eat it with a knife and fork. You can't pick it up. You got to, it's just delicious. Off the chart. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got to go get a damn pizza. Come on, guys.
I know. Full Domino's.
You got any cold cuts in the fridge? No, don't Domino's. No. Got any cold cuts in the fridge?
I think all I have left is turkey.
I got
There
turkey
you go.
too.
Turkey, cheese.
Yeah, I think all I have
I
left
got.
is turkey.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna have. We had tonight. We had no. Tonight we had raviolis
Mhm.
with sweet sausage and spicy sausage. She
Nice.
buys both. She cooks them both, and she doesn't tell me which one's which. So she cooks them up, and then she cuts them up, and then you just take what you want.
Yeah.
I always wind up with more spicy ones than the sweet ones.
Right.
But she made a loaf of Celentano's
Oh, nice.
garlic bread,
Yeah, I love that. It's great stuff.
right?
Yeah.
And we only ate about that much
Really?
of the top half.
Oh, yeah.
So I still got half of the top and all of the bottom.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it's got all that buttery garlic in
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I think maybe I might go take a piece of that, put it in the oven, and heat it up
So-
again.
Throw it in the oven. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday night I made spaghetti, and there's some up there, and I
There you
might
go.
be I love cold spaghetti. So
I came home. My wife made a fresh a clam chowder today.
oh
Oh,
wow,
wow.
Yeah. It's good. Nice. The last time she made it was just like a little thin. So I said, you got to thicken it up. And this time it is a little thicker. That's good. That's good eating. man.
yeah. So I'm surprised Brianna hasn't taken the spaghetti to lump for lunch. So
Yeah.
that'd be a good made
Well,
meatballs and everything. So
you got to heat it up, and then if you splash it in the microwave at work, they get pissed off at you. It's
yeah.
pops or something.
Yeah. So and made a nice had a good garlic sauce. But yeah, I don't
See,
know. Spaghetti's
Getting
calling.
hungry.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Getting hungry. Got any mozzarella?
Huh? Yep.
You got
Always.
Yeah, a couple slices of mutz.
Yep.
Nice.
Got
I got the big ball from was it Bella Gioso?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She bought the big ball. I cut a couple slices of that today.
and
so.
last week I made my first batch of pickled onions.
Oh, never had
Wow.
that.
Yeah, really good. That's
Okay.
I got to tweak on it a little more, but we're getting there. I have a food truck that I stop in to get tacos, and they have this pickled onion and jalapeno topping for the tacos, and I said, dude, you gotta give me the recipe. I gotta I literally eat it with a fork,
Right.
It's, and
That's awesome.
so he told me, and like I said, I'm tweaking on it. And,
Both of my kids got from me. I guess they love pickles. I put pickles on my sandwiches all the time, and
Yeah, me too.
my wife bought a jar of little gherkins. It was gherkins and pearl onions.
oh wow,
And I'm eating the gherkins, and I'm eating the pearl onions. No one else will touch them. I'm like, get more of those onions, man. Those pearl onions in the juice. Ah, it was good stuff.
I'm not a pickle person. I can't stand pickles, but
No. Really?
yeah, I'm not a
I
pickle
love relish.
guy.
Got to put relish on that Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah,
green relish.
I'm not a big pickle guy, but
Yeah.
onions,
I like,
man, I can eat an onion raw. I mean, I
Yeah.
just love onions.
I love raw onion on my
Oh, we
salad.
We go out to dinner and get a salad, and everybody's giving me the onions off of their salad. Like,
Yeah.
give them to me up. Yeah, I'll eat
Yeah.
them, man.
Yeah.
No problem. I
And,
love
Barb buys me. She gets me the white onions and the purple ones.
The dahlia
Yeah.
onions are really good.
yeah,
And I-
Italian.
I slice them up, and then I cut them again into pieces. And
Yeah.
put them on my salad, cold, right out of the refrigerator. Oh, they're delicious.
The red onions are great, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go. I got another deli that I go to on Mondays, and it's funny. It's a Asian couple that own the deli, and I go in and I walk in. They already know what I want, and I said, make sure you put onions on that. And they're like, you want onions? And I said, yeah, I want onions. So of course, when I walk in, they call out the number and say, and onions. It's just the funniest thing.
There was a deli by work years ago that was really good, and then the guy sold out. An Asian couple took it over, so it looked the same, But the first time I got like, just a buttered roll, like
Yeah.
they switched to margarine. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Butter. Come on. Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
Land O'Lakes.
Land
Margarine.
O'Lakes.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
They took
Well, that's
away
like.
they took away the Indian.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Notice that?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I got
Everything.
I got another deli that I go to, and it was funny because the guy was in there getting a Reuben, I guess.
Good.
And he's like, you do have spicy mustard here. And the guy, Jerry, he's from New York, and he's like, what the fuck? We're a deli. Of course we got spicy mustard.
I can see
I
see the day Brian sells the tool route and he's bringing a new guy around. Like, listen, Monday it's deli day.
I
Tuesday
know.
we go to the pizza. Wednesday it's Indian.
Well, it's funny because my district rep, when he rides on me with me on those days, he's like, today's the day you go to the deli, or is it the day that we get tacos, or whatever. They all know I got my planned route where we're going and what we're having. So
That's the best.
That's good.
That's funny.
See, it's nice if you hit the same place all the time and everybody's kind of amenable. They know you.
Right.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like that. See, that's the biggest problem here in Florida. They do not have delis like I grew up with.
Yeah, right.
I had the deli that was around the corner from my house. Those people knew me from when I was a kid. Then there was a really, really good deli on Comac Road that I would have to go by every morning on my way to the chassis shop. And I would pull in there for breakfast. And they knew exactly what you wanted.
Lumberjack.
Unbelievable. But we don't have that here.
When I was working in the auto parts store, it was a conglomeration of stores on Sunrise Highway, and it went down a side street. If you come out our back door in the parking lot, you go in the back door of the ravioli store that was there. I mean, sawdust on the floor, everything hanging, and we would get like roast beef sandwiches or you name it. I mean, they made they were making those like Italian heroes before the name was even made. This is back like in 73, 4. Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, it was funny. It was one day. It was a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. But it was one day, and I got one 7-Eleven that I stop in on Monday. It's actually I stop in there. It's in my route, and I'm fixing my coffee, and the owner, she's wiping down the coffee area, restocking and so forth, and she looks over and she goes, how long have you been coming here? I said 20 years. And it was like, like I said, you walk in, they already know. I mean, they already rung me up, and it's crazy. I said, yeah, just 20 years. And she's like, man, 20 years.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, did you join the 7-Eleven club?
Oh, yeah.
I got the app on my phone. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
11 cents off on gas.
Right? And the one over here by me on Tuesdays, you buy any size coffee and you get a free muffin.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, I got to look at that and see.
It's $2 for right now, right at this moment. Yeah.
I haven't been in the 7-Eleven in a while. Let me open that app and see.
And then with Wawa, I get the Wawa points, so my coffee's free. So I got to determine where I'm going on a Tuesday.
On the 7-Eleven app right now, if you scan the app when you're in there, your seventh one's free. So
right. Yeah, my next one's free.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I got like in my route area, I have like maybe 4 or 5, the 7-Elevens, and like I said, the handful of places I have lunch or whatever. And it's just funny now after 20 years, like I said, you walk in and they're all, it's already made, packaged, wrapped up, ready to go. It's kind of funny.
That's good.
Yeah, 11 cents off a gallon of gas. Yeah, I haven't used it in a while, so just had to update it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's only one 7-Eleven around here that has a gas station in it.
You got to make sure it's got it'll say rewards on the screen, and then you punch in your number, and then it does it. Not
Yeah.
all of them. Not all of them take it. Not all of them do it.
So how do you do that again? So you go up to the pump and
Go
then
up to the pump
Ask if
and
you're a rewards member. You hit yes.
yeah, I'll ask you if you're
Okay.
a member, and you just click the button, and then you put in your phone number, and then it
Okay.
adjusts the price and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody finally found that out. All the girl, between my Safeway points from grocery shopping and my 7-Eleven, when we were going up to we took Jenny up to Nick's Fish House for her birthday dinner. And she goes, well, we gotta stop and get gas. And we pulled into the 7-Eleven. I said, type in my phone number. And she's like, why? And I said, just type it in. She goes, that was 11 cents. And of course, the girl's ears, what? And I was like, oh man, here goes my points.
Yeah.
I go to BJ's and I use my BJ's. I actually had the membership card, but I took their credit card, which now they give me like a $10,000 limit on the credit card. But I get 10 cents a gallon off of gas. So I've been paying. I haven't paid over $4 even when everything spiked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like $3.98 was the highest I paid.
Yeah. So
I've been over.
Yeah, not
$4 for a
every.
while.
I got It's not really in my area, but I have one 7-Eleven that has diesel, which helps out. But other than that, it's like I said, for the regular cars, I stop in and I fill up over that because it's 11 cents.
Yeah.
But
hey, every little bit helps.
Yeah. And my 7-Eleven points are, I think I'm like 80,000 or something. Even the girl behind the counter says, you want to use some of these points for something? And I'm like, no, I'll just save them.
I do the same thing. When I started off, I took an Amazon, a Chase Amazon credit card. When I got my digital camera, I wanted to get another lens. I said, okay, I'm going to save the points and get this lens. And by the time I had enough points, they weren't selling the lens anymore. So now every time I paid it every month, I use the card every month. Like, you want to use it? No. Just I said, you know what? I told my kids, I said, make sure you check all my accounts when I die, because there's going to be points out the ass on everything, and use them, because it's like, don't give me a gift card. I'll never use it.
Yeah.
I lose them. I lose the money.
Yeah. I hate those points things. And I'm the same way. And, I only had one, I can't remember what it was. I had one card that if you didn't use it, you lost them. So at the end, I had to cash them in, and then I got a stack of $25 gift cards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the hell? I was like handing them to the kids or whatever. Just get because, like I said, I hate gift cards that way.
Yeah, me too.
I got one now. I got one right here that a customer paid me in.
Oh.
And I used it, and I'm down to like 37 cents on it, or $1.37 or something. And I'm like, dude,
no, I try to use it like online, or I'm paying for something and it doesn't take it.
Yeah.
So my wife said, well, give it to me. I'll use it. She'll go to Kohl's and like they take it all the time. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, some places won't use them.
Yeah.
So.
I've had that happen where I got gift cards that weren't eligible for like internet purchase or something like that.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I run the card through the credit card machine for the company.
Yep.
Charge the full amount. Then when it funds the bank the next day, I just do a withdrawal.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I've done that before. The only thing that I hate about that is paying the fees on the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to get there no matter what. They're going to get you one way or the other. So.
It's like even now, even a place I know say, you want to take a quick survey, and okay, great, I'll do it. I have no problem with that, and we'll send you a $50. I don't want the fucking $50 gift card. Don't send me a $50 bill in an envelope. Send me a grant. I don't want to deal with that. I'll stick it in my PVC pipe.
Yeah, or you could be as stupid like me. Some of those gift cards, they expire.
I know. I've lost them like that.
Yeah, and it was funny because when we got married, my dad had given me 2 Sears gift cards.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize how much they were for, but they were $500 a piece.
Wow.
And I remember him giving me the envelope, and he said, "Look, you're going to buy this house, and you might need a hot water heater. You might, something always comes up and bites you." He said, "Here's these gift cards. Use them for whatever." I completely forgot about them. Threw them in the safe. Forgot all about them. And then, of course, like, I don't know, 10 years later, the hot water heater blows up, and I'm going through the safe to get some money out, and I come across this envelope. I was like, oh, man, these gift cards. So we all pile in the car, run down to Sears and Roebuck there, walked in, pulled out, gave them, and the guy goes, expired. And I'm like, what do you mean expired? He said, yeah, these things start counting. And I was like, God, I can't believe I lost $1,000.
I didn't lose that much, but on a similar note, I for years ago, I would did DMV forms when I was down there. So you have to ask at the thing, and I had them on my desk. So I was transferring to buying a car or whatever, and I filled out the forms. I bring them down, and I give them to the lady, and she looks at me. She goes, where'd you get this form from? I'm like, in my desk drawer. What do you mean? She says, we haven't used this form in like 15 years. It's like we have a new one. I'm like, what changed? It's a registration form. It's like, you got to fill out the new one. Really? Like, I had a drawer full of them. Like, shit. Oh, well.
I did that with the bank when I was, at Bank of America, and I would fill out my deposit slip here, and I have everything all ready, and I walk into the bank and give it, and the lady goes, this we can't accept this deposit. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't accept this deposit? Where did you get this? Where did you get the deposit slip? And I said, from you guys. And she said, like, when?
What year?
What year? And it was something to do with the barcode on it. Wouldn't read, because it changed or whatever. And I was like, well, I said I was at the bottom of the pile, and I guess, because every time I went to the bank, I always grabbed a handful of the deposit slip things and throw it over. And of course, I said I had enough at home. I didn't grab any for a while. And of course, I got down to where it was, she goes, we haven't used these in like 10 years, or this system changed.
The bank I'm using now, it used to be it was an Astoria. So the checks I have are Astoria. Then it got sold to someone else. Then it became Sterling. And now this place, Webster Bank, same thing with the deposit slips, because I gave it to my wife, and they gave her hell about using a deposit slip. So here, take some new deposit slips. Okay. And I realized like my checks still stay Astoria on them. That's like 4 banks ago. And they said, well, that's still good. I'm like, well, yeah, because the number didn't change. My account number didn't change. But you let me use a check that has a name of a bank that doesn't exist, but I can't use a deposit slip?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, all that.
I'm giving you cash. I'm giving you cash. You're complaining with me? Jesus.
Cash. Cash. You can hide it.
Put it in a pipe.
The Bank of America used to be a Suburban Bank. And I still have the money bags from Suburban Bank when I walk in, and the lady goes, "You've been a long time customer, haven't you?" And I said, "Yep."
Yeah.
I mean, 25 years.
They should give you new bags at least.
What gave it away?
Yeah. Walk in with the old Suburban bags.
Yeah.
You'd think they would give you brand new ones from Bank of America.
Well,
Come
they
on.
want you to buy new ones now. They want you to pay for them.
Yeah.
Nah.
So it's crazy.
I
Crazy.
hate
Yeah. Hate them. Hate it.
I want to know how Bank of America gives out car loans to migrant workers that don't have a social security number.
That's interesting.
How do they do that?
Yeah.
They use.
Read a whole thing about that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when the Bank of America that's here on the corner on Friday, trust me, if the what do you call it, patrol rolled in there, there wouldn't be
INF?
anybody online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because none of them
from the
belong
strawberry
here.
farms, right? All the
Yeah,
strawberry farm people.
They're all illegal aliens.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. That was an Obama thing.
Yeah,
when they
right.
handed out. I was at the Sun Trust. It was Sun Trust. I don't know what it was, Truist now or whatever
Now it's
it was.
Truist, yeah.
Yeah, and I was at the Sun Trust, and there was they had some program, and it was a landscape company, and the owner was there. He went in. He had a stack. I mean, it was a fat stack of bank cards
Yeah.
like this, and they were all brand new, and they all had everybody's name on it, and he would just call a name and he was handing it to his workers, and they had a program because of their job. It went through that workers, like he didn't co-sign, but it was, they used his business as like a reference for
Right.
these cards, and all those illegal guys had a card then.
Sure. I just heard something today. They were talking about Biden was saying down at the border, he's not going to put up any more wall, but he's going to use this electronic surveillance, electronic deterrent. Like, what the hell's that supposed to mean?
It means I'm lying to your face.
They're going to have like a horn that goes, meh, 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 meh.
Well, they need like a big old bug zapper. That's what they need. you never, those bug zappers, like when a big old moth gets in there and it fries around and
Can you
smoke.
imagine how all that grease will sizzle when they get a little Mexican in there? It's like,
oh man, I just think we need like a whole bunch of bug zackers.
Really, all you need is the army.
Yeah, right.
Well,
right.
Yeah, well.
Well, if you think about it, if you read your Constitution, that's an act of war. Cross over the border illegally, that's an act of war, which gives the Army, the Marines, whoever, full rights to kill you where you stand. But nobody does that.
Right.
Nobody
you read in too deep, John. Just you gotta look in between the lines a little more, okay?
It's invasion. It falls under the heading of invasion.
You gotta open that gray area up a little bit. Just come on, John. Just
give them a break.
Just give them,
because they're all the million of them that have come here in the last year. They're all getting away from a bad place.
Right.
Yep.
They're refugees. They're coming here to be in the bosom of America.
Up here in the papers, the "Don't Say Gay" law is getting a lot of print.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Florida, if you actually read the fucking bill, not one phrase in that bill says "Don't say gay."
I know, isn't that
not
ironic?
in the bill.
I know, it's ironic. Yeah.
All this thing is, they're flipping out, they're freaking out. Disney is having a fit.
Oh, I know.
The whole deal. And the only reason that they have this bill is to make sure that school districts, administrators, and teachers don't talk about sexual things to kindergarten, first, second, and third graders.
Exactly.
That's all this is about.
Yep.
And this whole LGBTQSYZ hashtag group all says, oh, well, they're just trying to put their foot on our neck. They want us to disappear, And I heard a commentary from a guy that says, well, here's the problem. They, as a group, want to make everything about them.
Right.
It's a bunch of spoiled children throwing a temper tantrum. So no matter what it is you're talking about, they're going to find that little slice of the pie that says you're hurting me. That's what this whole thing is. Yeah. And this law has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with it. But that's their talking point.
It's gotten a lot of press up here. I got to say, the press it's getting, though, has been very, it hasn't been accusatory. It's been very, very middle of the road. And if you read the article and understand what you're reading, it's very clear what it's about. And then you say, so what's everybody complaining about? It's a big fucking deal.
Well, because they can complain. That's why they're complaining.
Right, because they can,
Yeah, because they can. It's just unbelievable. There was a thing I read from, I'm trying to think of the actor's name. Who was the guy that played the father in Sons of Anarchy, and he was also Hellraiser?
Yes. I know the guy.
You know,
yeah.
Ron something.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. He made a video, and he was yelling at DeSantis. And he was like, who the fuck are you? Don't say gay. The first 3 words in your fucking bill, don't say gay. And then the comments started coming in going, Ron, did you bother to read the bill?
Doesn't say that. Yeah.
You're an actor. You're kind of acting like an asshole.
Uh-huh.
You're screaming at DeSantis, and nowhere in the bill does it say that. So maybe before you get on social media and try to be a tough guy, you ought to learn how to read.
Right. Yep.
Unreal.
Actors.
That's the way it is.
God.
That's the left. And I keep seeing video of that deal from the Academy Awards.
Uh-huh.
He didn't hit him.
It didn't, it looked, I didn't watch it that many times, but it looked kind of fugazi to me.
Yeah. I don't think he hit him.
They showed a close up in the picture of Rock's face and like not even a blush mark. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like
this thing was planned.
I don't care what color you are. There's a YouTube video of a guy who broke it down saying, no, this was fake. This was all faked and planned, and this is not real.
And for a split second, when he turns around after striking him, he's smiling.
Yeah.
Now, is that a smile like, look at me? I just got even with this guy?
Yeah.
Or, here we are.
Right.
And then other people are like, well, if that didn't happen, nobody would have even known the Academy Awards was on TV.
They said in the Daily News, they said, that was one way to get people to pay attention to the Academy Awards. Because you know what? All of that shit, I could care less.
Yep.
Then there's a friend of mine sent me a link to a video. There's a conservative guy running for Congress. And he was like, did you see that video? And why do you think they did that? And it was to steer you away from this other thing that's going on. And he plays this video with Putin having a meeting.
Uh-huh.
And Putin says that he's not going to stop, not going to cut off any of his contracts, and he's not going to stop selling to all these European countries, but he's going to convert the payment to get around the sanctions. He's going to demand that these countries, these Eastern, European countries, pay in a different currency, pay in rubles.
Oh, yeah.
Or some other stuff. Because something about the ruble is supported by gold, which the dollar is no longer supported by gold.
Right. The gold standard was,
The gold standard was wiped away because we went to that central bank, which basically just prints whatever they want to do, and the whole 9 yards. So this was a pretty long video, and Putin basically, he's like, screw you. My stuff's based on gold, and that's how you're going to pay me if you want the oil. And it's really a real easy transaction to do. You just convert your money to rubles and pay me, and I'll give you all the oil and gas you want. And that circumvents all of Biden's all his sanctions. So I don't know.
You got to realize you're not playing with a moron. You're not playing with guy's not an idiot. So
we'll see what happens.
At least one of them isn't.
I know my guy's an idiot.
Right. One of them is, one of them isn't.
Certified.
Yeah.
So
good God.
Then I saw that thing with Bruce Willis. They made this announcement he's not going to act anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, I'm like, well, there's the answer to my question. I saw a movie that he made that never made the theaters. It went directly to like pay-per-view.
He's been making a lot of B movies.
Right? He was some, like shadow American government kind of guy, and he worked with a lot of bad people worldwide, and he retired to this like jungle village where other people from around the world were involved in like undercover espionage and the whole 9 yards. And this guy had a hit out on him. Bruce had a hit on him for years. And they were able to find out where he was by tracking the movements of his son, who came to this place to visit dad. And he led these bad guys, in. And the whole time that the movie was running, I'm like, there's no life in the lines that he's saying. It's like he's just reading, monotone off a piece of paper. I was like, the acting in that, it was the worst $5.99 I paid on pay-per-view for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what happened to Bruce Willis? This is terrible. It's
That's
a horrible, horrible movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the family makes this announcement that he's got this brain problem.
Aspasia.
And he can't act anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's why that movie looked like shit. So he did that just for the money.
I guess, yeah.
I was like, horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some good flicks through the years.
Oh, he sure did. And they did a thing on BAB today. They did like the top 10 Bruce Willis movies. And none of the ones that you would think, like Die Hard, none of them were in the top 10. There was like this whole other list. Like, what the hell? Where have I been? I don't know. Yeah, it's a shame, but
I like the one where he played a taxi guy in the future.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, way in the future when cars flew.
Pulp Fiction wasn't even in the top 10.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction was a good movie.
It was excellent. Yeah.
I saw the other night. I saw the part 3 of the Matrix. It was a little confusing.
Yeah, it's tough. Once they start getting
back and forth.
Once they start getting into 2, 3, and more, it gets to be like, wait a minute, what? Huh?
It explained a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it was this back and forth kind of bouncing stuff.
Right.
But overall it was okay, because now it wasn't even the Wachowski brothers. It was the daughter.
Oh.
Who made the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. But, the special effects were there.
The Fifth Element. There's some guy, Brad Badtree.
Yeah, they got into too much of that.
Oh, yeah. I got
that CGI stuff. I'm out. I can't watch it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Give me an old school
screen,
film
so I don't
movie.
see the stuff.
Is that what the movie? Is that the name of that movie? The Fifth Element.
I think it was Fifth Element. No, Fifth Element was the Bruce. That was the Bruce Willis movie.
Oh,
way in the future. He's a taxi driver, and they got and the cars, they don't really go on the road. They fly.
Hover, yeah.
And you could hover your car like outside your house.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of remember that movie.
It was that was a strange movie, but he had a good part.
Speaking of cars, I just had another interstate battery drop a cell on me. The FJ.
They're junk. They are junk.
The FJ didn't want to start. I had to use the jump pack, and it was right. So I had to take the battery out of my Mazda that I was selling and bring it home and charge it. So I threw that in the FJ, and I have an interstate store. It's the place right over here in Freeport. I brought it, and I looked. This battery I put in the FJ, I put it in December, and it's a brand new battery. And that was a replacement for the one I put in like back in last March. So I brought it into the guy. I said, I put it on the counter, and he's like, "Wow, that looks brand new." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I got it in December." I'm like, and I think it's got a bad cell, but it's it's a sealed battery, so I can't check it. I want to test it. So he peeled the label back, and he shows me there are little caps under the label. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And he checked. There's a bad cell. He goes, well, you must have a problem in the car. Maybe the lights were. I'm like, No.
No.
I said a battery with a bad cell isn't indicative of a problem in the car. A battery with a bad cell is indicative of a bad fucking battery. So he gave me a new one, no questions. But I'm like, what am I going to do now? Like, where am I going to get a battery from? I mean, Delco's went to shit years ago. Now Interstates are no good. I don't know.
Yeah. We used to use Interstate a lot, and for a long time I used Delco and Credicell.
Yeah, it was a good battery.
You remember those? I
Yeah.
had 2 of them in the back of the Firebird. They were
Right, right.
small, but they had a lot of cold cranking amps.
Even
They
the
were awesome
diehards were good
batteries.
batteries. The Sears diehards were very good batteries.
I've had a lot of luck with the those glass gel ones, the blue or yellow top, the red tops.
That's what I
Optimum?
have. Optimum.
Optimum.
Yeah, Optima. Yeah.
I've heard that even at Costco, their batteries are really good. But of course, they're rebranded. Someone said it might be a Deca.
No.
I heard
The
Deca.
Costco ones are Interstates.
They are in the state. Well, all right. See, I got a BJ's membership, not a Costco. So
Yeah.
I want to know, what does Bad Tree Productions do?
Bad Tree Productions. I've seen that.
Yeah,
name.
it's
he's on.
the-
He came in
He's
just
in
a
the
little
chat.
bit ago. He's in the chat room.
What do
Oh,
you
there he
do?
is. Well, what do you do, Bad Tree? You want to come on? You want to come on screen? We got room for you. We can put you in.
Yeah, I want to
We
know.
got the
Does he
power.
Does he
We got
make
the control.
videos? What does he do? I hope he's still there. Maybe he left.
Well,
Oh, no. Oh, he
11:31.
makes Mopar content. You got to
Oh,
get him
what?
on the show.
Well, come. What are you doing? You want to come on? You want to come on with us? Come in. If you're on StreamYard. I don't know if I
No,
can.
I think he's on YouTube. He's got a red icon.
Oh,
No, it's-
yeah.
is
Well, no,
it red?
YouTube isn't live. Facebook is live.
No.
YouTube.
I don't know.
This-
He's got
this-
the YouTube
The
icon.
blue
I see.
the blue one's Facebook.
Blue is Facebook. Yes, it's got the F. So
Right.
what-
No, he's got a red circle with the flag. It's the It's the YouTube one.
All right. Well, if you're. All right. Post a link. Let me see here. Invite. Copy to clipboard. Copied.
Oh yeah, can you put that link in the chat?
I'm trying. Try that right there.
Click
Try
on
that.
that link.
Let's see if that works.
But that might be, is that Here we are, picking up strangers on the internet.
Yeah, right. It's like
we were all warned about this. We're
Hey,
not allowed.
but I'm already thinking, like, wow, maybe this guy will know how to make a good sandwich. You know, we'll get like another. We'll get more food.
Because I'm always interested in guys that do Mopar content.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
a GM guy, but I love Mopar guys.
Me too.
Our
I'm
mother
always-
warned us about this, boys. We're
Right.
not supposed to be picking up strangers on the internet.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like beating the ball with like 2 of your good friends. Like you know what? Everybody's got everybody's back. So what's going to happen? You
That's
know?
right.
We're
There's 3 of us. Right.
back to back, belly to belly. It's all right. We'll take them out.
I think he's setting up his camera. He said
All
1
right, there
minute.
we go. So
Is he
There
there?
he is. There. Look at that.
How's it going, guys?
all
Out here
right.
picking
Awesome.
up strangers.
So who are we talking to?
I'm Blake from Bad Tree Productions.
Blake. And where are you out of, Blake? Where you
I'm
where you
out of we're out of Northeast Iowa.
Iowa.
And,
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
we're kind of the outcast, you'd say. Everybody else supporting Chevy around here.
Good. So
We're
you
the
fit in
small-
with
Yeah,
us.
it's okay. Yeah.
Listen.
You're fine with us.
We actually play with Pontiacs.
Oh, cool.
So you know how
Yeah.
I've always been shunned, and Brian likes Ford. So,
Yeah.
so what do? You do restorations, or you doing what? Just-
Hot rod shit, man.
okay.
Right now, our 2 main flagship cars is we call it Nacho Cuda. It's a 67 Barracuda notchback.
Okay.
Cool.
We built the 30 overhigh protective motor in it in our 1-car garage. I ported the heads on it myself. M1 high rise,
Big block or small block?
small block 360 with a 340 super stock cam from the 80s, old TRW. No
Okay.
new shit. All that new stuff's failing, you know. So
Yeah.
Right.
It's true. Camshafts are horrible now.
it's got a 727 built by me and the guys on the channel with the TF3 manual valve body in it.
So
with
you have
430
you got
gears.
you got a YouTube channel that you do?
Yep.
Is that the Bad Tree Production? Is that
Yes.
the
Yep.
YouTube?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go
We're
sign
currently
up.
at, I think, 3,300 subscribers right now, I think.
Well, you can add a few more.
Well, thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
you pick
I've been
up-
watching you guys because Iron Horse Garage
Right.
and seeing you guys do Schoolies bus lift.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Watched you guys do that. I was in the comment section a little bit there.
Very cool.
Oh, we love meeting
Yeah.
new people.
Yeah.
The car community is excellent. You know?
Yeah.
No, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you see all these little ecosystems. Like we kind of run around with just Mopar Joe, John Wilburn, Tony, Uncle Tony, kind
Uncle
of.
Tony, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's
And-
from our part of Woods up. He's from Staten Island.
Yep, he used to write a magazine back in the '80s. My dad's a fanboy, so
Yeah.
Yep.
he used to read all that. I think he did Mopar Action a couple issues.
Yeah, he did a lot. They did a lot of motorcycle stuff too.
Mm-hmm. He did some Fox Body Mustang stuff too.
Yes, he did the Mustang stuff too.
Ooh,
yeah, I
that's going
watch
to the
Tony
dark
every day.
side.
I watch every one of his videos. We've had him on a radio show a few times.
He's
And,
excellent. He's great
yeah.
to learn from.
I mean, a couple times he borders on the caveman school of technology, but that's okay because
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We got
I like when he fights with Mark.
we got 4 guys on our channel, and my brother-in-law, he's got we built a 402 stroker small block 360 in his cream puff old lady 73 4-door Dart. It's a total
Nice.
sleeper. And he's the caveman on the show. He's hammer fisted. Let's go. Let's get it.
right.
Forgets to turn the
Cool.
camera on.
Yeah,
Gets halfway through and
it
realizes.
happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
my father, he's kind of the brains of the operation, the teacher. I mean, we've been slinging wrenches ever since we could, here's how you change a tube on your bike. I'm going to show you one time as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I've been handing dad wrenches since I was 3.
My
No.
mother taught me how to change a tube on a bicycle tire when I was a kid, with like
Yeah.
screwdrivers and knives or whatever
Mhm.
we had, spoons, like yeah, all right.
It all starts
yeah.
with bikes, man. The more
Yeah.
kids you see on bikes, the better.
Yeah.
Back then, like where we were, we used to go into people's garages and find the old side shaft lawnmowers. That's what everybody, and we'd score those motors, and you'd bolt them onto a bicycle. Somebody would, you go down to a shop, have them weld on a plate and
Mm-hmm.
side shaft Briggs motor with a slipper clutch and throw a chain on it, and there you go. You got yourself a mini bike out of a bicycle. Death on 2 wheels.
We live right on the Mississippi River, and in '93 was a really bad flood. There's railroad ties floating in the backyard.
Wow.
Oh my
Me and my
God.
buddies, we grabbed some chicken fence and a staple gun, and we stapled all the railroad ties together and made a raft.
Nice.
And the
Oh,
local cop
awesome.
goes, "Get the hell out of that water! The city septic and sewers, flooding into this too, right, boys?"
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Wow.
you gotta get dirty as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the only
That's,
way
the, pro-
to be
that's the
strong.
problem with kids. That's the problem with kids today. They don't get 30. So
They
There's
don't
a
get
meme I
dirty.
grabbed this week.
Slather them up in that toxic, bio killer stuff.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's 4. She knows what a transmission is. She crawls around the Barracuda with me. She would not go to school the other day unless I took the Barracuda.
Nice.
wow, that's awesome.
15-mile drive on the highway at 430 gears.
Oh man.
There you go.
Can't
Nice.
hear her talk,
Right.
Yeah.
but she had the
7.7.
biggest smile on her face.
Yeah.
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 3,500
Oh, I like
salt
that.
converter.
Oh yeah. There you
Well,
go.
you're a maniac.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you're just like me.
Yeah. That's
So
good.
we're gonna take her to Test and Tune April 24th. And see if we need to put a cage in it.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. I think our NHRA track says $11.99.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Did you,
gonna-
did
yeah,
you
well,
read
depend-
that? Did you read that rule that they came out with for new cars?
That's like 1050, right?
Something like that. Yeah, you can go like
Yeah.
1050s with no roll bar or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
If
bro.
it's a newer car.
Like
Yeah.
I got my
They,
300
they
SRT.
claim, they claim that because of the way the newer cars are built,
Mm-hmm.
that they're safer than
Thicker
an
B
older
pillars
car.
and shit. And
Oh yeah, they got
Yeah.
airbags and all sorts of crazy crap.
All
Yeah.
of that stuff, right? So if you got like a Hellcat or
yeah.
a new Mustang or something like that, you can go.
Yeah, you look at
And
any of our
all you gotta do is
Barracudas or
bring a helmet.
Dusters, they're just all sheet metal, you know.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
but
Yeah, you don't see many notchbacks anymore. That's not a. I mean, you never did in the day, but there were.
nobody was a fan of them. I don't think. I never was.
I don't know. You know, I never looked up the production, but I just don't think they made as many. You know, it was,
I don't think so. The fastback, especially the '68,
yeah,
Yeah.
was. I mean, it's such a good looking car.
and that was considered an A body, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A-body.
Right.
So 67 all the way through 75. Anything from a Barracuda to a Dart Sport.
Right. Yeah.
So actually, the Barracuda right now has got 73 Dart front discs on it.
Right.
For the upgraded brakes.
Sure.
Which suck because I still got the manual drum proportioning valve in it. So
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, you need to change that.
yeah, that's on the checklist. The big bolt rear axles, bunch of shit. So
Yeah.
it's ratty as hell. It's 7 different colors. People ask me all the time, "What color are you going to paint it?" My answer is, "It is, man. It's
Hey, that's it. It's done.
Pick
You're
the one
looking
you
at it.
like. Pick the one you like and look at that panel.
yeah."
Mm.
If I wanted to paint it, I want to be out here driving it, having fun. So
Right. Right.
I've been down that road.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Very true.
That's good.
Very true.
That's crazy.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, I guess we're just kind of have fun. Maybe you learn something when you watch us, but we kind of lean more towards entertainment, just trying to be.
That's kind of what we all do. You know, that's kind of what we're all doing.
I got to do that. I don't do that.
I'm
bad.
I tried something different with the thumbnail yesterday. I took Will Smith slapping Chris Rock,
Uh-huh.
and I took the mufflers out of the Nacho Cuda, and I put Thrush glass packs on.
Uh-huh.
So I put the chicken head over Will Smith's head with a cherry bomb in his hand, slapping my old muffler, which is on Chris Rock's face,
Oh,
saying slapping new mufflers on the Barracuda.
There you go.
That's funny. Yeah.
So the algorithm hit for a little bit on that one, and then it died
Yeah.
after people watched.
right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
YouTube's a crazy world, guys.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do? I guess I don't know a whole lot about you guys.
Well, also I do a radio show, Motor Mouth Radio, on Sundays, and back when Lou Santiago was back when this was Lou's channel, he asked me
Yeah.
to come on to do tech because he didn't know any electrical stuff. And he says, "You know electric, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know electric." He goes, "You get these questions," so I came on to do that and outlived him. You know, he left to do his own thing, and I stayed. You know, so and I just general wrench and restoration and hot rod and stuff, and I kind of gravitate. I've been doing carburetors all my life. That's kind of that and electric are kind of my specialty.
Well, if you're an electrician, you know about everything.
Well, not electrician. I got a degree in electronics, so electrical, any kind of. I mean, I can do house wiring too, but
Right.
you know, the electrical stuff doesn't scare me.
That's awesome. So is that just local radio, or does that go out? Can I pick that up in Iowa somewhere? Or?
It is. You'd have to
You
listen.
could pick it up on the internet.
Yeah, it's on the internet. If you go to our
Yeah,
website, motormouthradio.com, there's a listen live, and then there's past shows on there. We're on Spreaker. We're on iTunes. We're on,
Okay.
Every
Somewhere else.
Sunday,
yeah,
noon
live on Sundays.
Eastern. You're on for 2 hours this week.
2
right?
hours this week.
Yeah, this week it's 2 hours because we're
This
doing
week's a
fundraising.
2-hour show. Yeah.
We
Might have to call in after the chili dogs.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put you on, John. Yeah, do me a favor, please. Put you on. Yeah,
I'm just writing it down here,
That's it.
putting it in my notes.
yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, you
I
can
like
listen
the old,
live. It's a good show.
I used to like listening to like nuts and bolts on the radio. Driving
And this
across.
is kind of the same thing. You know, the show was originated as an automotive help show. People would call in with questions about how to work on their car. But I mean, the show's up for 20 years now. So as we've gotten more and more modern, people aren't working on their cars. They can't, you know.
Right.
So we'll talk about anything with wheels, an engine, a power plant. You know, I actually told a story years ago how I made an air cleaner for my Fiat out of a ceiling fan, a Hunter ceiling fan, because it just looked pretty cool. And a guy calls the next week and says, "Hey, I got a question about my ceiling fan. Can you help me? I heard you guys talking about ceiling fans." I was like, "Well, no, I was talking about making an air cleaner out of a ceiling fan." I said, "But I can help you with your ceiling fan if you want." And we did. We helped them with a ceiling fan problem.
That's awesome.
So, you know, it's just like we do here. We just talk about everything.
Yeah,
You know, everything.
just gets crazy.
Well, that's you guys were talking about rubles. I mean, I just hopped in and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, this is different than car stuff. I'll listen to this for a little bit.
I
If you guys
just saw this video today of a guy who's running for Congress, and he was like, everybody's talking about Will Smith slapping, you know, and he goes,
Yeah.
and it's A, it looks really fake, and B, it's just something to keep your mind off the fact that Biden put out a video that says he's going to continue selling oil and gas to Europe, but he doesn't want them to pay in petrodollars,
Right.
which is
You mean
like
Putin,
Americans'
not
currency.
Putin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Putin.
Yeah.
He wants everybody to pay in rubles.
Right.
So
And if
that sidesteps all of Biden's,
His
sanctions. So he's got his own little plan here, but you don't hear our government telling you, well, this is what they're going to do.
Well,
You know?
why do we need any of their oil in the first place?
We only import like 7%.
Because assholes signed a piece of paper
Yeah.
that says if you're an American oil company, you can stick it in your ass.
Right.
The only
why.
real oil company that's owned in North America, it's not even in the United States, it's Canada, and that's Cenex. I think
Yeah.
Mobil's owned over in Europe, Pennzoil's over. I mean, they're all the same damn thing with a different label on it.
Right.
I worked I worked in the refinery sales business for 7 years, and it's just a bunch of, top tier gasoline doesn't mean a damn thing. It's just a fancy name. Your winter blends and shit like that. They're just putting more cetane in it for better ignition. And people aren't smart enough to look it up, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And ever since fracking, we're so energy independent. It's ridiculous.
Right.
We weren't even using our own stuff. We're buying from Canada at a discounted rate and shipping our junk out. Don't even get me started with the pipeline stuff.
Yeah, the pipeline. Well, see, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
There you go.
That thing only moves at 3 miles an hour. If it's got a leak, you can shut it down. You put a
Right.
human element with a train and a semi out there,
You could run faster than that, right?
there's 30,000 gallons on the ground right away.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Why don't more people think like me?
Well,
Because you know why? Because everybody listens to the news as gospel, and everybody
Right.
thinks that anyone with a mouth in Congress is educated and knows more than me. So I should listen to them.
They're getting paid.
There's so many people that think that bitch AOC is like the end all be all. Really? She's a dopey bartender from Soho in New York City. How'd she get in Congress?
Because
Somebody
she's
stuck her
confident.
there.
She's
Yeah.
confident. She can run her mouth, and she doesn't have any guilt about what she says.
Unbelievable.
You have
Right.
to have zero morals.
right.
Nope. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody with morals wants to go into politics because
Trust
they
me, I'm a
know
politician. Right. Sure.
they'll be tried to be bought.
Right.
They'll eventually have to give in. Apparently,
Right.
it seems that's the way it goes in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's bullshit.
it is.
So you get groups like us who kind of stick together and,
And I'm a millennial.
well, thank God.
Wow.
Technically, I mean, I'm an elder millennial. But
Right.
Elder.
I just heard
Rare
that term
breed.
today. I just heard that term, elder millennial today.
Yeah, we don't associate with all the dudes.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
I think they got that timeline of generational just a hair
Yeah.
off.
Gen X
because-
beat the piss out of me long enough for me to get
Yeah.
some of that from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's I think the timeline's a little too long on some things.
Well, it's like we keep telling poor Justin, like, yeah, now you're hanging with the old dudes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a dose of real reality.
Learn while you can.
Yeah, listen.
Lived in this
Us
country
old-
when it was really great,
That's
Make
it.
mistakes.
when music was real,
Yep.
and pants had bell bottoms.
They're coming,
coming
back. I heard.
back.
I know. It's when my hair was long and my thoughts were short. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're coming back. I've seen
Yeah, I
seen
know.
quite a few women wearing them already.
I'll wear them again.
They're
I
back.
love bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Seen leather pants at Sam's Club today. I'm like, people
Leather pants. Yeah, Jim
Leather. Holy smokes.
Jim Morrison.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God. You got to be
I
in
don't
good
know.
shape for that one, because if you're a
Yeah.
fat son of a bitch like me, you don't look good in leather.
No,
Yeah, no.
no. Freddie Mercury could wear leather pants.
Right.
You know, Jim Morrison could wear leather pants.
Yeah.
John
Nah.
Belushi could not wear leather pants.
No.
No. Did he ever try?
I
Is
don't
there
think
something
so.
to leather pants where you end up dying?
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's
It
pretty
is.
funny. Unreal.
So Brian's our resident tool man, of course.
I
Yeah, I
can't see
saw,
the names on the screen.
Yeah, I sell Mako tools.
Oh, okay.
So 20 years selling. Beforehand, I turned wrenches, did Porsches and Audis, and one day, hopefully, I'll get my hot rod back on the road. I got a 66 Fastback, had it in high school. I've lugged it around for the last 30 years with me. So
Mustang.
hopefully, yeah, Mustang, yeah,
Okay.
66. And yeah, before I got married and bought the house, I took it all apart because I knew I'd be house poor for a while, and it was probably the worst mistake I ever did was taking that thing apart. But
You basically verified what I said when my Pontiac was sitting dormant, and everybody said, "When are you going to start working on that?" And I said, "I'm not going to take it apart, because then if something happens and I got to move it and it's in pieces, that's when you lose the pieces." And I kept it all together until it was ready, and then it just blew apart like a model. So
Yeah.
That's
and then
my
just rebuild it.
my 75 Duster. I picked that up. Slant 6 AC car. The drivetrain that's in the Barracuda was supposed to go in that car. And I'm like, if I take this apart, I mean, this thing's stone axe, reliable. The air conditioning works.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I took it on a 7-hour road trip that day after a blizzard in northern Wisconsin. I was passing modern day cars left and right.
Nice.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Right?
Yeah.
Just for a set of $150 J heads.
Yeah.
Whatever. It made
Wow.
content.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully I get my mess cleaned up a little more. It's on the other side of this over here, and like I said, it's
Be
hopefully
cool
I
if
can work on it.
someday you can see it. through
Yeah.
that.
Right. That'd be nice.
well. I tell you, I don't want to really brag, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be really soon. One day I'm gonna turn on. You're gonna say, "What the hell is all that?" So
Yeah, as I've been hanging around here for years, and I can't see past that file cabinet.
yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things I made because a lot of this stuff used to be in a storage unit, and then of course I got together with a couple of my other distributors, and we rented out a warehouse to keep all our stuff in. And of course, all of us kind of realized that we had more than just regular work stuff in there, and we all kind of said we're keeping just work stuff in there. So that stuff had to come back home and kind of filled up the old garage. So
Right.
hopefully I get it straightened out and got another storage unit and moved out of the UD to the unit now. So
Nice.
That's cool.
So Johnny, give me your resume. Our resident chassis guy, fabricator at large.
Former semi-retired professional chassis builder.
Awesome.
Yeah. Racer. Been racing forever. I own a company that does custom aquariums and service. And I'm back playing with cars again after 20 years of not messing with cars. And then one thing led to another, and a car that I had that was very well known, we found it, and I was getting ready to rebuild it, and then I got sideswiped by this other project behind me. So I'm in the process of building 2 cars, but we're doing this one
Good.
first.
You'll stay
So
busy then.
This is a recreation of my very first pro street car.
Oh, cool, man.
And
So that's
we're
not a
doing
green screen. That's the real shop that you're in right now, huh?
It's my garage, yeah.
Awesome. It looks
I'll be
really
moving
clean.
to a shop, but I have a shop. My aquarium business has a large shop that I specifically got so I would have an area to do car stuff. So I'll keep them segregated. But right now I'm just using it as a place to store the other car and a myriad of parts and boxes for both cars, fenders and hoods and noses and wheels, and it's all kinds of stuff. Speaking of wheels, tires, I keep reading stuff on Facebook. I can't buy Pro Street tires.
Really?
Nobody's got them in stock. Nobody's making them.
Wow.
It's really nobody's making them.
Yeah. Mickey Thompson and Hoosier discontinued their Pro Street tires.
Why would they do that?
They said that they're having issues with getting materials, and for the amount of tires they sell per year, they would rather put the rubber into stuff that other people are going to use.
Like
Wow.
drag radials.
So they're shunning us. Yeah.
That's some BS.
I'm like, wow, that's unreal. So,
That sucks.
yeah. I
So
know.
what's going to
I
be the little
have-
company that picks that niche
Yeah.
up? You know,
I have no idea, but
Coker.
I have I believe they're Hoosiers. I have the Hoosiers that actually look like a slick with a couple of grooves in them
Mm-hmm.
that came on this car. They're a little bit narrower than those that I have. These I can't drive on.
Why?
These work street like a street race tire, and it's got that tread that's like a circle track tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got these from a guy to use for fitting. They're the exact same size as the tires that I want to run, but these tires are like 7 years old, and they're dry rotted, and there's cracking where the
Yeah.
tread meets the sidewall. So this is not something you can drive on.
No.
They're no good for that. I have 2 sets of slicks. I can't be driving on those,
No.
although
no.
I've done it before. So I have the tires that came when we bought this car. But like I said, they're a little bit narrower. They're a little taller, but they're a little narrower. So worst case scenario, I may wind up having to put those on if I can't get the tires I need.
Wow, that sucks.
If I'm forced, and Goodyear or Hoosier are making circle track tires, I'll buy those, because I drove the black car all over Long Island on a set of Goodyear dirt track tires.
Would those be like outlaw car tires?
Yeah,
or
right.
Something?
Yeah. The biggest one they make, it's like
Mhm.
33.5, 17. I drove those things everywhere, and I didn't have a problem with them. So if I got to go back to that, I'll do it. But it's not a
Are
DOT
those-
tire.
Are they a bias ply still?
Yeah, they're bias ply. They're thin. They have very thin sidewalls. It's basically a flat tire waiting to happen. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully by the time this car goes to paint and comes back, maybe they'll start producing stuff.
Unless you can find some new old stock sitting around.
Well, it's all been bought up. I'm reading it all over Facebook. Everybody's crying. I need these tires. Where can I get these tires? And everybody's like, yeah, well, they've been discontinued. Nobody's got them. I checked my Summit A-Tech account. 0. I went on Jegs. 0. I'm
Wow.
like, oh,
When did they
this is
start
not
putting
good.
shelf lives on these things?
I don't know.
2008, 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And there's
around
like
then.
expiration time, and you notice these newer tires. Just
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's unreal.
Now you got to, when you go to look at a used car, you got to look at the date code on the
Yeah,
damn
right.
rubber.
Right.
You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
here's take $1,200 off.
So besides cars and tools, Blake, the other thing we master is food, of course. We
Oh,
cover that quite well, as you heard a little while ago. So we We kind of round ourselves out pretty well over here.
Sounds like it. Sounds
Yeah.
like a good group.
It's the real deal.
So any question can always be answered. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if not, we got enough years behind us to be able to bullshit really good.
There you go.
Yeah, we can pull it off.
We could tell lies and laugh about it later.
Yeah.
Spoils of age.
Well, have you guys heard of the No Name Nationals?
No.
The no name, no, not no name nationals. No.
I've
It's,
heard of the no time nationals where the clocks
Yep.
are off.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is not going to be that impressive.
Okay.
So a group of us were talking months and months ago how it'd be cool to meet centrally in America at a drag strip and race with each other. And John Wilburn and the president of the AHRA, Dallas, said, hey, that's actually a really cool idea. Let's
I
talk.
did hear about it from Uncle
Yeah.
Tony, right?
Yeah, in Missouri, it's going to be. It's called the No Name Nationals. It's any YouTube channel that's got over 500 subscribers can participate. You can buy an entry into it. So,
Wow.
if you
That's
want,
right.
it's all going to be YouTube creators.
Yeah, because Uncle Tony got called out to race his, what the hell's the name of his
Bottle Rocket.
no, not Bottle Rocket. Oh wait, I thought he was
Yeah.
going to run the slant six.
Oh, Plan Z? No, he's
Yeah.
going to run Bottle Rocket.
Okay, that's a 318 car. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
with a ton of nitrous and a 4-speed.
You know, and then as of last time I saw the last videos, he really didn't get that thing dialed in right. It was
No.
having clutch troubles and
Well, the upper
camshaft problems.
the upper cam bolt on the passenger side,
Right,
the bushing in that took a shit.
right.
So he like dead darted right also.
Right.
I'm like,
Oh God.
And now they're building slag hammer, which is cool. That's going to be that's they took a
Yeah.
4-door dart, John, and what he did with this car was it was a derelict body, threw it on a truck chassis. He was going to do the what the hell was that?
Gambler 500.
Yeah, the Gambler 500, and then that got sidetracked. So they built a gasser out of it. They tilted the nose, and he's putting a big block in. He's
Oh.
going to actually do the power tour with it, building 2 motors for it, 2 440s.
Yeah, Mopar Al did that tilt front end.
Yeah.
Man, that turned out so good, didn't it?
I like the way they, a lot of times with those noses, they'll cut the fender horizontal about mid tire, but they cut it on an angle from like the cowl down, which was perfect. That let the nose just,
Mhm.
I've never seen that angle cut before.
It looks good.
It makes so much sense. It
Yeah.
really makes so much sense.
And then blending in making it look like a 2-door.
Well, it
I
was
mean,
a 4-door car,
yeah.
and they put 2 doors on it and welded in the back. It's like, talk about a ton of work.
For something that was supposed to get piss pounded off road.
Exactly.
And now it's like being blocked and skimmed and
Exactly.
it's going to have a nice paint job or a wrap or something.
It's amazing the stuff that he gets involved with, And the thing
That's
with Tony
cool.
is he's so, I don't know what the right word is. I've talked to him about it and said, you're all over the place. Yeah, I know. I mean, he did that Miata, took a Miata and put a
Mhm.
slant 6 in it just because he wanted to. And it works. But he's going to have somebody else take it out and race it. Like he's not even going to do it.
Yeah.
Let somebody else take it.
Yeah, my dad's kind of that way. He got me into drag racing when I was 16. The first car we built, he put me in it for my 16th birthday and said, "You're racing the car."
Cool.
And he took me down there, and I was scared shitless. I actually won my very first race,
Nice.
and I was in the points lead. So he's like, "We got to come back every month."
Yeah.
Ended up winning my first ever championship, my first year out.
Holy shit.
And it wasn't
That's awesome.
it wasn't like pro or anything like that.
Right.
As people around my age, it was like 16 to 22.
It was
or
bracket
something like
racing,
that.
right? You were bracket
Yep, bracket
racing.
racing, foot brake.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd cut 002
Wow.
lights, and my dad would just throw my ass through a ringer. You're gonna red light. You
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
would. The best story I ever had from starting out that first year was there's this one kid. He's always snooping around our car, and like Tech would talk to us and shit. And he thought we were running a trans brake or something. Well, I wasn't. And Dad reading old Mopar action magazines, the old towel over the shifter trick. Look over here, but I'm doing this shady shit over here.
Mhm.
So we'd throw a towel over our shifter. And then tech would come over and talk, say, hey, I need to look at that. And you see the kid over there looking. Because he'd never win. He's always trying to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
But just plain, he could have just gave two shits less about us and paid attention to himself. Because
That's
as soon
always
as
the way
that
it
happened, we were in his
always-
head and we were always going to beat him from that day on.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's
I guess
awesome.
I got into drag racing when I was 16. I'm 36 going on this April. I'll be 36.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh, went to college and partied in my 20s and forgot about cars for a while.
That happens.
Yeah.
What did you go to college for?
Criminal justice.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to be a cop
All right.
to become a DNR agent.
Ah.
Oh
All right.
boy.
Yeah, my brother was a chief ranger in Florida. It looked like he fucked off all the time and it seemed fun. So I figured I wanted to do that too.
Yeah.
It didn't, I don't know. Didn't
Well-
pan out.
Not for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then everybody said, why don't you go for mechanics? Then I wouldn't want to work on my stuff.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Now, if
worked
you
on
go to school for mechanics, you wind up getting a job working for NHRA.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
I should go back to school.
Yeah.
I see so many young people that went to, those technical colleges, and the teams, NASCAR, NHRA, they look for those kids. They
Mhm.
hire them. John Force has got a bunch of them working for him.
You know, my
That's
friends with bike shops, the same thing. They get the guys that come out of the motorcycle school down in Florida.
Yeah.
Get the name of it, and because they're actually trained on the bikes that they're going to work on. So it's
Yeah.
MMR. That's what it is. MMR or MMI. MMI.
MMI, yeah.
You go to a Walmart Lubin Tech and they send you off to Madison, Wisconsin for a weekend, slap a ASC on you, and
Yeah. Yeah.
say, here's how you read a scanner.
Right. How do I make the light go out?
Yeah.
Pull the
Clear
bolt.
all.
Right. Right. Funny stuff.
Man, I hate my new shit.
Me too.
I mean, the 300 runs 12/8. It's a family car, TV in it.
Yeah.
But man, it took me like 2 hours to change spark plugs on it.
Right.
I gave
16
up.
of them bastards.
I don't bother now. I'd let the dealer do it.
Yeah.
Don't want to be bothered.
Yeah. I still keep my hands in it because I figure the day I stop will be the day that I stop. So
Yeah.
Throw some dirt on you.
yeah.
I'll work
Keep
on
doing it.
this kind of stuff, but I won't work
Yeah,
on
I do that too.
new
yeah.
stock stuff.
Always like the old stuff.
I could have saved myself like $1,000 if I would have spent 200 taking my car to the muffler shop instead of breaking my tooth doing it myself.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Exhaust work sucks. Yeah, I don't like doing exhaust work.
I was pulling on it and the tip came off, smoked me right in the mouth.
Oh, no.
man.
Oh, God.
That sucks.
Blood
That's
running on
gotta
the photo.
hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's sharper now. Easier to eat steak.
Right.
Got a real canine now.
That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I started buying good tools. Changing ladder bars on the Pontiac back in like 1978. And I had 2 half-inch drive Craftsman ratchets. And I'm pulling on one and pushing on the other, and it slipped. Bang, right in the mouth. So I get up, fuck, throw the fucking ratchet, and spit, a little bit of blood. Spits. Now I get this stream of blood coming out. So I go in the house. My mother's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, She gets like the frozen peas out of the freezer. Here, stick this on your mouth. I put my tooth through my lip.
Oh, man.
And now I realize, like, okay, after I calmed down and stopped the blood and all, should have got stitches, but then, like, now the job is half done. I had one, like, do I continue to take it off or do I put it back on?
Yeah.
It's like I'm half done with the job to add insult to injury.
And you
said,
need
"Oh,
the car tomorrow to drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna be buying some good fucking ratchets. Is what I'm gonna do. That's how I started buying good tools. And then I had at the time I had bought a set of my first set of Craftsman They
A
were.
really nice DeWalt almost knocked my ass out. So nice tools can still hurt you.
Yeah. I guess no, it was a metric wrench, the first metric wrench that I ever owned, and it was Craftsman. So I had a Datsun 610 with an independent rear, and I'm going to change the U joints in the half shafts. So I'm under there, and I'm pulling on the nut. You had to use the open end, and I could feel the open, the jaw of the wrench spreading.
Yeah.
And I remembered, I thought back to that ratchet slipping on me, and I was like, you know what? I got on my motorcycle. I rode down to the shop that I worked at. I had a key to it, and we had snap-on tools in there. So I took the snap-on wrenches. I took a bunch of those, brought them home. They didn't spring. Went to work Monday and said, who wants to buy a set of Craftsman? Like, I bought 2 wrench sets. Who wants to buy 2 brand new sets of Craftsman wrenches? And when the snap-on guy came that week, I was shelling out the money for the freaking.
Yeah.
And I'm still using those wrenches today.
Oh yeah.
47 years later, still using the same wrenches.
There you
So-
go.
I auctions. Anytime I see any Blue Point or old Snap-on stuff, old estate sales,
Yeah.
That's how I filled my toolbox.
Yeah.
Kind of the cheap but long way.
Well, that's all
And
right.
then you get a ton of like Stanley junk and Craftsman. I'd just have a garage sale.
Right.
Have a microphone go tool sale.
Yeah.
Have a beer with me.
Right. Yeah.
We're just a bunch of drunks, to be honest.
Well, yeah. That's the name of the game.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've been to Iowa once.
Oh no.
I have not been to Iowa.
I went to when I bought my dually, Ankeny,
Okay.
Iowa. I bought it.
And you went to pick it up?
Flew out, yeah.
Wow.
Over by
Carl Chevrolet, and a K is backwards.
Right.
It's like the biggest Chevy dealer in the state of Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, guy's huge. Ankeny.
Nice and
He's
flat
a-
out there.
Yeah. He's a racer. He used to run Pro Mod. That's how I met him when we were doing the videos for Main Event Video.
Okay.
And then later on when we were running Pro Stock in IHRA. And he said, hey, anytime you need a truck or a car, come see me. I'll give you a great discount because you're a racer. And that's when I wound up getting my dually through him because my Blazer got blasted. And the front end was all wanged up. And my landlord said, I'll buy that Blazer from you. I was like, cool. And I called him up and he was like, what do you need? I said, I need a dually. Diesel. He's like, yeah, I got like 10 of them. He goes, what color? I said, black. I said, black with the camel cloth interior. Loaded. Yeah. I'll have my sales guy call you. The sales manager called me like 5 minutes later. He goes, yeah, we got 4 of those. He goes, so pick a number from 1 through 4.
Oh, geez.
I go, you got one with Alcoa wheels? He goes, yes, we do. I go, that's the one I'll take.
Nice.
So he's like, all right, come get it. I'm
How
like,
much of a deal did they give you?
whoa. I forget what I paid for that thing. I think I paid like $23,000.
What was market value at the time?
Probably like 32 or something.
Wow, that is a good
Oh.
deal.
Yeah.
That's very
Stuck to his word on that.
yeah.
Unbelievable. So
Worth the plane ticket.
yeah. And believe it or not, I was able to find a plane ticket. I was able to buy a ticket and jump on a plane the next morning, leaving from LaGuardia
Uh-huh.
in a company called, I think it was called Midwest Air.
Midwest there, yeah.
Yeah. And I flew out and it was a couple of days after Thanksgiving. I get there and it was like 10 feet of snow.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Iowa, man.
I was like, well, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. I mean, the guy came, picked me up at the airport and drove me to the dealership. And out there, because it's flat land where they grow corn and all kinds of other shit,
Right.
the plows, they go through. I guess they use snow blowers and stuff. And they pile the snow up. You're driving down the street. If you're in the farm area, you don't see nothing. The snow is piled 8 feet high.
Yeah, walls of snow, right?
It's a wall of snow, and you got to keep your eye out when you come to an intersection
Yeah.
because somebody may be coming.
There's nowhere to pull off either. If you had to pull off the road,
There was no
When
street signs. There was like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me out here.
When it's windy, it drifts really bad to where you can't
Yeah.
even. It's taller than your truck.
It
well,
was
that's a good way to
insane.
break it in.
Yeah, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But the
Wow.
dealership was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Picked the truck up, signed my name 100 times for GMAC,
Decently friendly folk.
and drove back to Long Island with it.
What year was that, John?
1993.
Okay,
Oh, cool.
No, 83.
83.
83. 1983. Yeah. Bought a brand new 83 3500 dually.
Break it in on the way home.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was 6 years or 3 years later.
Yeah.
I came around.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
Yeah,
You
I
still
was
got that
amazed.
truck?
No,
Oh,
it's
come on.
gone. I was amazed that it was like $10,000 less than the local dealer wanted for the same truck.
3
I was
years
like,
later
you
is
gotta
when I
be
moved
kidding
into
me.
this house.
Really?
Yeah. 86.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good truck. I put a lot of miles on that thing
Yeah.
before I
When
got
you had
rid
to
of it.
drive back out east, the east side of Iowa at least is kind of hilly. That's where I live, not up on the flat land with all the corn.
Yeah. I went from there. Let's see, where did I go? I went and visited Jerry Bickle. Trying to think of where Bickle was at the time. He wound up moving. And Tim McCamus. That was Missouri. I went from Iowa to Missouri. And then I worked my way back up to Illinois. And I went and saw Rick Jones race cars. And then from Illinois, I worked my way across Pennsylvania to Jersey, back to Long Island. It was like a 2.5 day deal. Took my time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Had a good time. And there I was sporting a brand new dually. I was like the man.
That's a good trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a great trip. I had a good time. Nice people. That was
Went to
fun.
New York once for my 21st birthday
Ah,
You
for 3
poor boy.
days. Yeah, stayed on Staten Island.
Oh
Yeah,
my
bed.
God.
why?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
why?
I'm from fucking Iowa. I don't know any better. It was
Right.
a hayseed
Staten
out
Island
wandering
is?
around.
There's nothing there. It's a
Staten
dump.
Island is a dump.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it
dump.
was. It seemed that way. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
And we'd hop on the ferry.
I mean, you can get good pizza. You can still get good Italian food.
I mean, the first 10 minutes we land in, what is it, Newark? Is that how you
You
pronounce
can
it?
go
Or?
to Newark.
Oh, yeah,
Jersey,
Newark.
Jersey,
Yeah.
So land over there.
Oh, the
Taxi-
Anheuser-Busch factory. The
Oh,
brewery.
okay.
The land of the
I don't
Sopranos.
remember. That was
Right.
a while ago. But I just remember almost seeing my first ever race war on that ferry.
Really?
Yeah, there's this one
Yeah.
black lady just flipping out on this white dude, and then all of a sudden he dropped the N-bomb. I'm like, oh my God, shit's about to go down. And everybody's hollering at each other, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
That's
Yeah,
just
it
a
was
day.
It's a regular day.
That's a
day in
regular
New
day.
York, man. That's just a day in New York.
I kept checking my back pocket every 3 seconds, man, that first day, because I'm, movies,
Yeah.
from the 80s,
Trust me.
crime and shit.
I grew up in New York, but every time I went to the city, I put my wallet in my front pocket.
Right. Front pocket.
From
The
pocket.
second day I wanted to move there. The third
Okay.
day we got an early plane ticket out.
You had a good enough taste, and then you left.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm like, how the hell did I just spend as a 21-year-old? That's not. I only had 2 beers. How did I just spend $1,500?
Yeah.
Coke and hookers.
I'm
So
like,
you coming?
I guess. I'm like, this is macaroni and cheese, and you're charging me $60.
Did you get to have some real pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
There ain't no bathrooms, man. It's like
In
you
the
have
city?
to go to a McDonald's. Yeah. I'm like, where's the? And I chew tobacco, and nobody sells chewing tobacco, right?
No.
No.
And I'm sitting there bitching and
Yeah.
complaining to my brother. I'm like, man, I'm having this nicotine fit. I need stop bodegas, right? Stopping in every one of them. Nobody's got it.
No, you get Cafe Bustelo. You don't get chewing tobacco.
My brother's
It's
like, just buy a
Spanish
pack of
coffee.
smokes.
Yeah,
And I found a can.
Marlboro
It was like
Reds.
2 days old.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beat up
God.
short. It was crazy. It was good.
That's funny.
I'm like, how do people get a suntan? The shadows. I mean, the sun stops right up there on the side of this damn building.
I never heard anybody say that before. That's great.
And I'm like, where the fuck's the grass? Where's the
Well,
corn?
Yeah, in the city, you're not going to see that, but you got to,
The grass is in Central Park, and you want to
Right.
get a suntan, you got to have a penthouse apartment.
There you
or
go.
lay in Central Park.
Or you go
Yeah.
to Central Park, or you go out to Long Island.
Right. Come out here.
And that was a course after 9/11, though.
Right.
I think it was a year or two after that. So
Oh, yeah. Everything was in
I was
upheaval.
still there. Everything was a mess.
the fence was there with just all kinds of stuff pinned to it. It was
Yeah.
pretty surreal.
It was a mess.
moment.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember watching that in school, going out to run my mile when the plane hit, and it just hit me. And
Yeah.
What's going on? It freaked me out.
Yeah.
It felt terrible.
Yeah.
So
You should imagine what it was like for us living on the island when it happened.
no shit. I
Crazy.
can't imagine that, man.
Yeah. It was.
It must have been the
weird.
most scary time ever.
We had, I had sold the chassis shop at that time, and I was working for a friend of mine that had a big welding shop that made custom playground equipment. And literally, like a mile away is an Air Force base in West Hampton.
Mm.
So we were listening to the radio, and they said that a plane flew into the Twin Towers. So when the first one went in, everybody thought it was
A small
somebody
plane.
in a small private plane that
Right.
something happened and they flew
Accident.
into the towers, right? And then whatever it was, 30 minutes later or so, the second one flew in, and that one, all the cameras were already looking at the fire coming out of the first tower, so they saw the second one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the guys on the radio went, "Oh no, we're under attack. This is an attack." And not 4 minutes later, the shop started shaking because they were launching all of these helicopters and fighter jets out
Yeah.
of West Hampton,
Scrambling the F-16s.
scrambled the F-16s and the
Yeah.
and the Black Hawk helicopters out of that base,
Yeah.
which gets them over to that airspace literally within about
Like
maybe
3 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes
Yeah.
at supersonic speed.
Yeah.
They're there, so we run outside and it's jet after jet after jet, tail feathers tucked, afterburners on.
Yeah.
They were throttles full forward. I'm like, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a
And
real life
squad-
Red Dawn.
Right.
Yeah.
And a squadron of helicopters flying out, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So my buddy, he closed down the shop. He's like, everybody go home. So I was glued to the television the whole day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then literally like the next day, the wind coming from Manhattan, heading out to the eastern end of the island, you can smell that acrid burning stink
Yeah.
of everything that went on there. That smoke and that smell headed straight out. So the whole place smelled for the longest time. It was ridiculous.
That must have been a weird anomaly because, where I am, right by the Meadowbrook Parkway, I
Yeah.
drove down to Meadowbrook and you can see Manhattan. I saw the towers burning,
Yeah.
but I don't remember really ever smelling it here.
We were on the South Shore.
Well, yeah, that's where I am.
So
So,
that-
it must have
yeah.
gone up, and the currents must have brought it down by the time it came out to you, I guess.
Yeah. It smelled out in West Hampton. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my sister's a cop. So I guess about, I don't know, maybe a month and a half afterwards, we went into the city to see her, and she took us there. And we went, there's a firehouse that's like real close
Yeah, right across the street.
right
yeah.
there. And she knows the guys in that house. So we were able to go up on the roof and look down into the pit. and it was one of the sickest things I've ever seen because they had bulldozers scooping into the pile, and then the guy would back up to an area that was leveled out, and he would shake out the bucket. And these guys were going with rakes,
Right.
and they were raking. And then every once in a while, a guy would stop, hold it, and he would find something.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody would come over and they would, put it in a
Right.
box or whatever it was so it could be cataloged to find out who owned it. It was whose watch, whose wallet, whose finger, that kind of stuff. And it was the most sickening thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How long did they
that'll
wait?
Never go away.
I mean, how long did they wait before they started putting heavy machinery on?
They started cleaning immediately. In the beginning,
they
it
were
was
doing
like it was a bucket
brigades.
brigade.
They were using buckets. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going through there with buckets trying to find stuff, and then it got to the point where you had to move to steel.
They realized, like whoever wasn't vaporized was just the pieces. So there wasn't, you weren't really getting bodies. You're getting fragments and
right. It was a mess. It was a total mess. It was disgusting.
It was terrible.
I've been on the department for 8 years myself, and nothing that crazy. So
no, I mean, what you hopefully we'll never see anything that bad again. I mean, that was, and in 94, 93, when they first hit the towers, the plan was with the fertilizer bomb in the bottom, what they wanted to do was rock the tower enough so it would topple and hit the other one like a domino. So I don't know what kind of Pakistani engineer was thinking of that, but they obviously didn't know how buildings were built.
All it did was blow out the basement.
Yeah, I mean, it did some damage, but nothing like that. The planes,
that was just
that worked. That was, like when an opponent
story.
hits you with a gut punch like that and a sucker punch, you got to say, yeah, you know what, you got us.
Look at today and wonder what the hell's going on right now. Because remember how close we got together.
Yeah.
After that, how tight of a country we were. We're proud people.
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It's disgusting now.
No.
Now it's both sides against us.
Right.
It's bullshit from the left, bullshit from the right, and nothing but bullshit out of Congress.
Yeah.
And you got a president that can't even read a teleprompter. And half of the country still thinks he got 80 million votes.
Yeah.
And you got all kinds of illegal stuff
Hillary
did, and she never saw a day in court.
Destroying
hard drives with hammers.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Yet every single day they try to find something about Trump.
Right.
Every single day it's something else. Trump. Because Trump is just living in all of their fucking heads rent free. Because he's the only non-politician that was ever a president.
Yeah.
And he's scared
but
the shit
he
out of
doesn't
them.
talk nice. Well, he's from fucking New York.
Right. Right. Hey, listen, we've said on this show many times, he's got his shortcomings. There's definitely the pros and cons of dealing with him. And
he's a smart man.
Yeah, well, you get what you get.
He's looking out for the best interests of this country, I believe.
He's a businessman. He knows how to run a company, knows how to run a company. There's some people skills maybe that could be a little better and maybe a little more trust issues. I mean, let's face it. We don't give him a carte blanche here.
No,
but,
because you shouldn't. You shouldn't hold that to anybody that's supposed to serve you. We shouldn't treat them like gods.
No New Yorker would ever give him carte blanche.
Right.
Being a New Yorker, you know who Trump is. Trump's an asshole, but he was a good president.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He's a pretty good TV star.
Yeah. He could have been better if he could have changed his game a little bit. He could have been a lot better and not gotten in so much controversy with people. But it's not him. So, but it woke up the country. It woke up a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And especially on both sides, because now the right knows, hey, you gotta do this. This is what you need to shake up, to keep the equation balanced. You need somebody who's going to be in your face like that, or at least.
He taught them how to play the game.
Hey, you're getting spammed right now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at that naked HD again.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that
Yeah.
asshole.
I can block them.
Now, if we're going to invite everybody onto the show, let's keep the internet rolling here. We might get lucky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You ended up. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a weirdo, but it didn't turn out that bad, did it?
No.
No.
You're welcome, Blake. You're welcome on here anytime.
Yep.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And yeah,
I think it's time for a Sammy.
Yeah, it's time
Yeah,
to go
it's
see
getting
what's up in the
close.
Colts up drawer.
We gotta get ready to run credit cards, boys. It's Friday.
It's 12:30 Eastern time. It's time for a midnight sandwich.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, guys. So for
Gotta-
Lewis Lee, who bugs out a little early because he works early, Ray Guarino, Murder Mouth Radio, Macroman Brian, Chassis John, and now Blake from Bad Tree Production. We're going to check your channel out tomorrow and subscribe.
Yep.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks for hanging with us,
absolutely.
Blake.
it was a pleasure.
And
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'll be doing my thing. And we'll be back
2
here
hours
next-
this week.
2 hours this week, right? And we'll be back. I don't know what we're
Yeah.
going to talk about. We'll figure something out. And, and we'll be back here next Thursday night. Play in
That
traffic.
sounds awesome.
All right, fellas.
Guys, be safe. Be careful.
Have a good week. Thanks again, Blake. Good meeting you.
Good meeting you guys.
All right, guys.
Stay blessed.
John, what do we say? Take us out, John.
Don't follow us home unless you've got
a ham
Entenmann's
sandwich.
donuts, or a ham sandwich.
Exactly. All right.
All right, guys. Be safe.